a while, guys.
It's
been like 8 months, I think.
Oh my God. Has it really been that long? It's like, I see you around. I don't really think about it like that.
How's this go? Does it go baby shark, mama shark, daddy shark? Oh yeah, we should do some social.
It does. Baby shark doo 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 doo. Baby shark doo 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 doo. Baby shark doo 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 doo. Baby shark. And it goes, mama.
I think it's
mama shark doo 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 doo. Mama shark doo 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 doo. Mama shark doo 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 doo. Mama shark. And then, daddy shark doo 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 doo. Daddy shark doo 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 doo. Daddy shark doo doo. You know, I swear, if Mia was ever to listen to these podcasts, she'd be so upset that we were singing this without her.
I know, right?
I know, she'd be so sad. I keep thinking that.
To be honest.
Well, all right, everybody. Hi, and welcome to the official Body Spartan podcast. My name is Gabe Tuft. I am the founder of Body Spartan. I'm joined by the wonderful, lovely, decrepit, unfortunately.
Ouch.
I feel happy.
Beautiful, wonderful, master sports nutritionist, blah, 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 co-founder of Body Spartan. First lady of Body Spartan. Oh, wait, I took your thing. It's been so long since we've done this. I'm joined by...
First Lady of Body Spartan, Priscilla Tuft.
And then it has been a really long time coming, but believe it or not, we have...
You know, it's HTP3, a.k.a. Captain Redbeard, a.k.a. your favorite ginger, coming at you hot.
It's been way too long, dude. Way
really
too long.
has.
You know what?
I
had to actually take a... take an IG of that. Here, how are you talk for a second? Because I got to post this.
Dude,
this
don't worry. Should you want me to give my intro one more time for the IG?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I got it. I got it right here.
You got
I just got to post it. I want to do some live, real time.
Okay.
While you go, I'm going to post this.
I can definitely do whatever you want. I mean, it feels good to be back in here, sitting in the same room.
How good does it feel,
where
Howard?
everything started. Did I say good? Because that is really an understatement. It is great. All right. It feels good. I feel good. I mean, life's good. Just...
How long are we going to let you talk without intervening?
I don't know. Dude,
I love you so
let
much.
me go. I mean, there's... Your boy here is caffeinated enough to feed an army of thousands.
What did you drink?
I had some PMP is actually what I had before my workout. And
PMP as in PIMP?
Oh,
Ology?
PIMP. No, it's through...
a Snoop Doggy Dogg song? Something.
Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna need a full sweat. This room is so hot. I forgot how warm it is in a real
Rewind it.
podcast.
I thought it was-
all the body heat from everybody.
I thought it was Johnnie Walker sweats.
Oh yeah. By the way, tonight's podcast is brought to you by, unofficially, of course, Johnnie Walker. We're currently drinking these. These are not plugs. Ranger Up is the company I think we bought these at.
No,
I remember
yeah.
Brandon we're scrolling through Facebook. He's like, dude, you got to see these glasses, and they one of them's got a Punisher skull kind of thing on it.
Mm-hmm.
What's yours say?
Mine says whiskey and bad decisions.
Yeah. And then mine says, it's a mistake to push a man to violence when violence is what the man has dedicated his life to perfecting.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they're pretty badass
Absolute
cups, man.
killer.
Ranger Up. You want to get a social media shot there, Pete?
Do it.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
That's my one-eyed winky there. Wait. Oh, we've gone there already.
That's
It's too late. I'm going to
awkward.
put a cracker in my mouth and shut up.
Oh my God.
Can you crunch into the microphone? Crunch into the microphone.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, you don't really hear it too much. You're a soft cruncher.
Well,
And the crowd is desperately waiting for us to say something of some sort of intelligence.
some sort of interest. Okay, well, let's do what we always do, guys. We usually talk about what the hell's going on in our lives, right? We give them a rundown, tell you guys what's up, what kind of bullshit happened during the week, and basically do a recap of what happened. But it's been like what, Howie? Legit 6 or 8 months since you've been in here podcasting with us, and it's probably been 3 months since we podcasted, P.
It's been a minute.
I would say minimum, yeah, for sure.
We've all been busy, dude. Life got in the way. What can I say? Now Howard moved closer to us, so you're like what, 2 miles away now?
If that, yeah, literally one exit away, and we both live off the exit.
Yeah.
So
I think the what?
Well, I was trying to tell you that you could hear yourself breathing through the... You got the... Okay, so Gabriel has had his nose broken to the right, his nose broken to the left, and then broken to the front, which should have fixed it. But wrestling has his nose has had better
Right.
days.
Yeah, and so now I'm like, I'm a mouth breather pretty much.
So if you hear the squeaking, just understand that it's equally as beautiful as it's ever been. It's a good old nose,
Or
but
if
it
you
does
just-
make some music.
Or if you just hear a lot of air, it could be me. You know, it could be that deviated septum from all the fucking years of blow. I mean, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding. It's not deviated, but you know what they say? It's open septum up there. You know, it's
You
crazy.
just sinuses,
wait.
no problem with
Open
you.
concept. Open concept. It's just for show.
Is that what? Well, I think the coolest thing I could probably say, or the most congruent, or the thing that bonds us all tonight, is that Howie has jumped on the bandwagon.
Oh wow, we're just gonna jump right into
Okay, we can back up and be like, "Yo, Howie's single now." We can just talk about that, dude.
Ladies. Hello.
Hello,
Oh,
your
hey.
favorite ginger is now available on 1-800.
Oh, 1-800. But only for speed dating. At the end of the day, show you a good time. That's really all it is. Because I'm focusing on myself, guys. You know.
Yeah, you're really doing a lot of
Soul searching.
masturbating, I guess. Is that what we're gonna call
Oh
it?
my God, I swear to God. The other day, I literally beat the shit out of it so hard, my left leg went numb.
Really? Usually it's the hand that goes nuts.
Oh my God.
Just a lot of
I'm
pounding.
just kidding. I stole that from some other guy. It was a comedian. It was great.
I'm always a fan of The Stranger.
Oh, The Stranger, for sure. You know what, though? But then you sit there and you forget how to grip. You're like,
That's the worst part,
You have
you
to
know?
just like tape your hand around it.
Okay, here's the thing. When I'm on the track, when I'm on the track and my hand goes numb, like it's usually my
Your
right
throttle
hand
hand?
it's the throttle hand from squeezing the brake. It means I'm grabbing the bars too hard, but I'm always thinking about that out there. My mind will wander for a split second. I'm like, yo, Stranger. I
When
can't
was
let
the
it.
last time you ever had to worry about something like that, darling? The only stranger that you know is the one that comes in the new wig.
Hey.
Sips furiously.
Yeah. Sips Johnnie Walker furiously. So yeah, how we single, man? How's
You know what?
how's life with MILFs?
Oh my God, you're ridiculous. Mills. Well, it's always great because I love milk inside large
Flowers?
flower pots. That's what it means. It's the single life. I'll be honest, it really sucks. Yeah, and when I say sucks, it doesn't really. I'm such a relationship-based person. It's really hard for me to transition into that whole like single life. Sure, we can all go out there, have fun. That lasts like 1 week, but it's not who I am. And I would say, in the time that I've been kind of MIA from you guys or been in here, yeah, I've really been doing a lot of self-reflecting and really truly finding myself, and to Priscilla's point, and just soul searching and learning to find, or learning that being alone is okay, and you have to be okay with being alone. And I used to always fight it, saying, well, no, like, why should you have to be alone? You should be with someone if that's who you are. You're meant to be with someone. But that's not what being alone is. Being alone means that, like, at the end of the day, you are truly happy with yourself, and you don't need someone to really shine that light on you. You know your greatness, you know your value, and then aside from that, yeah, I want to share that with someone. So, I had to dig a little deeper, and I would say this time to myself, I've really realized and am learning that currently. I wouldn't say it's something that it happened. It's something that I'm working on continuously.
I love what you've said, because I feel like that should be taken into a marriage too. We can never look to the other person to be that foundation for us. We must be it for ourselves so that we can give the other person the best of ourselves, but not come to a relationship because we're broken and needing something, but come as a completely whole person so that you could meet with another completely whole person and have an amazing experience.
No, and it's truly that. And you can really enjoy each other. And what I learned from my last relationship was I was trying to force a lot of things. I wasn't, I thought I was being me. I was rushing things, and I wasn't really happy. Like, I almost like put a timeline on myself. We always tell people, like, you're not in a race. There's no like, finish line coming up or whatnot. This is your race. It takes as long as it takes. And I felt like I needed, like, I had set, like, I wanted to be a young dad. I needed to be in this career. I needed to be married. And, these are all good goals to have, but I think subconsciously I was putting that on the relationship. And when things got a little rocky and we decided to separate, I did a lot of blaming, and, I actually got to the point where I needed to see someone, and I started seeing someone. And basically what it came down to was I took 3 traits that I did not like about myself. And one was being, I felt like I was arrogant. I was selfish.
I did not see that in you at all. Like, honestly, and I'm not just trying to be your friend.
Right.
I honestly see you as such a selfless, amazing human being.
And a lot of people see that because that's what I project. That's what I want people to see because that's who I feel like I am. But like deep down, there's so
love you.
There's so much more to people.
I can't believe that you would say that.
And so what I did was my ex, I actually asked her to meet me, and even though things were really weird, I was like, I have some things on my chest, and I finally felt strong enough to say these things, with truthfulness and and let you know. And I don't care where it's going. I'm not expecting anything from this, but I want you to know what I really feel. And what it was is, like I said, I mentioned these 3 things, which was arrogance, it was selfishness, and it was I felt like I was a liar, and that was a bad trait. And what I mean by that is, I'll elaborate a little bit, is I was arrogant in the sense that I felt like, her problems were her problems, was always there, but like when I had a problem or there was something wrong, it was a bigger deal. So I felt like it was more important. My situations were more intense or a bigger issue, or they were more than her situation. And even though I would never say that, but that's what like subconsciously I would do. And the selfishness came in and is, we needed to treat mine. Like if I wasn't okay, I was stressed, I would try to be there for her, but at the end of the day, mine were more important. And like, I put all my attention toward mine. I need to fix myself, and really made it about me and the selfishness. And the lying was that I felt like I lied to myself and our relationship that whole time, because instead of coming out with that and being true, I made up things. I said, no, we're fine, or use arguments. Instead of really expressing how I felt, I lied to myself. And so what I've learned in this time being single is that I wasn't as strong as I thought I was, as I was perceiving myself. And I had to really dig deep. And I think that's something that we promote, is we're really good at finding the strength in people. And that's always been something I think at Body Spartan, we've always been really good, is right. Taking someone's strength and really shining light on it and saying, this is who you are. This is who you're meant to be. Now chase it. Don't worry about any distractions.
True.
But what happens with people that have that ability is it's almost like, a doctor, they're their own worst doctor, right? Or however that terminology goes. Like, we are really good at motivating and finding people's strength, but sometimes we're the one that needs to find that strength, and we get lost, or we use helping other people as our band-aid or our distraction away from what we really need.
But that's freaking heavy, because I just learned in like 30 seconds that I am arrogant, selfish, and a liar. About me. And I think that every single one of us can take that to heart. And I'm like trying not to get misty-eyed right now, but that is profound. That is powerful. How much do we put our needs above the other person?
Shame.
Oh my God.
Shame.
Game of Thrones reference.
Shame.
No, but it's serious.
I mean, this podcast is called Summer is Coming.
No, Summer is
coming.
No, and so and I think that
was a good moment, though. That was deep diving.
Me really discovering that in this time that I've been away from you guys has helped me realize so much more, and I have so much more to learn, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm genuinely happy, and we'll discuss it later on. There's been a lot of other life changes that have happened that have really contributed to this positive. No, I'm not that. They contributed to all this, like, this
girl,
positive.
I would hope that you would tell me first.
She legit called you girl.
Girl.
Are you pregnant? It's my baby.
Calm down, Felicia. So like that's kind of really where it's been, man. And like, it sucks because in hindsight you start looking back on things, and I've been battling a lot of dark places, and I'll admit I'm not innocent, because at the end, how's that cracker? Is that a good cracker, Gabe? Because if I can take what I know, like what I've learned in just the last 3 months, and really go back and look at things, and because we all tell ourselves we want something, but you don't really realize how bad you want something until it's like gone, and then you start to realize, maybe I should have fought deeper. If I really had these feelings for something, maybe I should have done things differently. We can sit there and dwell on those things, or we can look at it as like, but this is what life had to teach me. This is what life wanted to teach me, that I needed. Maybe I didn't need necessarily, but this was meant to happen to learn this lesson that I have now, or that I'm now learning.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, at least one of my big philosophies in life is that the universe will put things in your life, whether good, bad, or otherwise. A lot of times it's tragic. A lot of times it's really painful to go through. And a lot of times people will fail miserably at the test. What'll happen is we'll see it, we'll act the way we've always acted, and we'll deal with it the way that we've always dealt with it, which is usually some sort of cyclical pattern that we're in. And I'm sorry, I have cracker in my mouth. I'm trying not to make dad sounds as I swallow some of my food.
Well,
But it's like a cyclical pattern that we get into, and it prevents us from growth, personal growth in our life. And we can look at this, it applies to so much, like whenever I lay the bike down on the track, Tyler always goes to me, Tyler O'Hara, my coach, he goes, okay, you're okay, good, bike's fixable. What did we learn from this? Seems, for me, it's like, it's the worst that can possibly happen. Or for a lot of you guys, it's a terrible reference because I just have motorcycle racing on the brain. But like with how he's talking about with relationships, if you take that and it happens to you and you do the same shit over and over again, how is your life going to ever change? You're bringing the same baggage into the next relationship. But
I feel like every one of us can relate to that. I remember my mother used to say the same exact thing. I would spill milk, and of course there's no crying. There's no sense of crying over spilled milk. But she said, what did you learn? And every single calamity in our life, there is a lesson and a blessing.
Well, and
I learned that I'm clumsy and I need a sippy cup.
But seriously, in your relationship, you're going to have to ask yourself, what did I learn from this whole thing? And like you said, what could I have done differently? And one of my biggest, to piggyback on that, another big philosophy I have, I don't want to say one of the biggest, but is, and it actually was an epiphany I came to the other night between P and I. It was like we had a heated discussion. I had this choice to make, and I was like, if I'm truly in control of my own destiny, and I go by the the tattoo on my knuckles that says no fate, and I believe that I make my own fate.
And the emblem on your chest, Destiny Awaits.
Oh yeah, the new Body Spartan T-shirts are coming. They say Destiny Awaits on the front, by the way.
And they look really great when Gabe's pecs are bouncing.
They're pretty sweet.
They are pretty sweet. They've got
sweet.
America.
They got the cool logo on the back. Anyway, but what I was getting at is that if you're truly in control of your own destiny, or in this case it was me, if I'm truly in control of my own destiny and my own fate, then I have to ask myself, what could I have done differently in that situation to point things in the way that I want it to go? If we want something and we have a vision of what it is that we want and we know that we want it, it's up to us to say the right thing and do the right thing at every corner. If we say something, it's like
there's a ripple effect.
For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Or in this case, for every action, for every cause, there is an effect. And maybe it's not the effect you originally wanted, but if you look at it and you learn from it and you apply that to the next situation, you consciously make a change, now you're leveling up in life. And so, speaking of that, let's talk really quick. This is a really good segue into what's coming up on April 8th. We're doing this for the first time ever. We have a webinar that I'm going to be giving. It's called How to Achieve Total Success in Anything You Do. And what we just talked about is, that was a weird, throaty noise I just made.
No, that was weird.
Powerful.
Like honestly, before you were sounding powerful, I didn't even notice it until you just basically put emphasis on it. So now that we all know and are corrupted or just disgusted by your,
we were thinking you were perfect until you brought it out.
Get back to telling us about this awesome seminar that's going to happen.
So it's how to achieve total success in anything you do, and just like we talked about right now, there's these principles that I've been living my life by, that P has been living her life by, and then Howie has been living his life by, that has helped us get to where we are now. And even though we're not ultimately where we hope to be, what's the term I'm looking for? We're not at the pinnacle of our careers or our life or at the peak of our life. We're always growing. What we have done is we've laid some good foundation down, and we're all pretty damn successful when it comes to what we do. We weren't always that way. And it's been about an 8-year road for all of us. And we've taken this knowledge. We're going to put it on this webinar. I'm telling you guys, we're at that stage in our lives where we just want to give back to you. And we want to give back and help you. And it just seems like if we can condense everything that we've done and all the mistakes that we've made and help you avoid that, why wouldn't we do that? I mean, I know how you like to see people be successful, right?
But the thing that sucks is the more successful we are, the more, the harder we fall, the harder we fail.
Touché.
And so being honest with you guys really sucks lately.
Well, how about just being honest in general can really suck, because most of the time being honest is showing weakness, and
it is.
Who likes to show weakness? Especially
those of us that want to grow. Nobody likes to show weakness.
Especially when you're trying to grow in a very competitive field where it's a dime a dozen, where every other person's doing this. Perfect example. We're sitting on a podcast doing it. Guess what? I'm looking all around. People are trying to do podcasts everywhere. It's a trend that's late.
Yeah, but ours are better. You know why? Because we have a handle of Johnnie Walker right here. And here's what we're going to do. As always, you guys know the rules of the podcast. Howard, Priscilla, and I have to be 100% transparent and always tell the truth with any question that's asked or any situation that's brought up. So we cannot lie on the podcast. We can't cover it up. 100% truth. Howie, I need a trigger.
Oh.
I need a trigger. So every time something happens, we cheers and we take a gigantic sip of our Johnnie Walker.
Okay, how about?
Oh my
how about-
gosh. The night of regrets. I
Hey,
feel it.
okay, how
Are you
about?
flipping me off? Like,
No,
silent-
I'm
you
not
were, like,
meaning to. Maybe
unconsciously scratching your eyeball and
subliminally
flipping
flipping
me
you off.
What do
I
you
was
got,
biting
Howie?
my fingernails.
What do you got?
I got one, and you might like this one, Gabe. How about every time you're cut off mid-sentence for someone else's, that person has to drink for cutting the other person off. That's just rude.
Well, why do we? I mean, that's just that we can't predict that happening. You know, it's going to happen
No,
here and there.
But see, we have
so what if-
agreements that we have to. If the other person talks too long, they must be cut off.
No,
it's the
okay,
law.
let's think. I'm trying to think. What would
Okay,
be a
so
good one?
yours
And a
is
side
at,
note for
is at
Sean
the end of
Smith.
the day. When you say
Sean,
at the end of the day,
bring the
you
cards
drink.
back to the house so that I can put in a full 128 gigabyte card into
Oh,
the
they are
recorder.
here.
They're not. Is the camera equipment downstairs?
Oh my god!
Oh.
Hey,
No,
well,
I have a
well,
32 gigabyte card. So
well, here, podcasters, look how unorganized we are. It's just great.
awesome. Oh, sorry. So, okay, why don't we just think of a random word that we can say at any time that will, no matter what we agree, we stop and we chug.
At the end of the day, when he says at the end of
Hey.
the day, then we drink.
How about at the end of the day?
That's it. No matter
Did I
what.
say that
Why,
a lot?
why that?
Did I
Wait,
say
why
that?
You
that?
say it so much. I love you.
my God, I
You
do say
totally
that
say it so
a lot.
much.
All right, look, at the end
How
of the
about
day,
whenever you
that's what we're going to
make
do.
whenever you make direct eye contact? You'd be like, Howard, why are you staring at me?
So is it either? So it's either direct. No, because we look at each other all the time on the podcast. We can't do
I
that.
like it. So what was yours that you said?
I like yours at the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
Okay,
you know, at the end of the day, we're
And
all going to end up
whenever-
really drunk.
and
Cheers,
whenever-
bitches.
And whenever I'm with Howard, I say at the end of the
Drink,
day,
B.
you'll
Oh, and you have watered down vodka. That's not even fair. We're switching you to Johnnie Walker after this.
sad.
All right, let's cheers.
Wait.
There you go.
Oh,
1, 2, 3. go.
yay.
All right. At the end of the day, this was a really bad idea.
I mean, come on.
Here, Howie, fill yourself back up, and I'll.
Come on.
Please do.
Here, you do that. I'll keep talking. Okay, so let's bring this along, guys.
So
I don't wanna-
seminar, just really quick though.
Oh yeah, the
seminar. So,
webinar. Okay,
webinar.
webinar. April 8th at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for all you guys on the East Coast, and everybody in between. You got to figure out the time difference. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I want you to go ahead and click on the link. This is free. It's going to be about 45 minutes to an hour long. We've hooked up with a gentleman named Anthony Chiklowski. He has worked with Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar, along with Brian Tracy, not too long ago, and he's now chosen to work with us on this. So he's going to be on the webinar as well. I'd love for you guys to click that link, sign up. It's totally free. And if you stay to the end of the webinar, guess what? You're going to get a free Savagery at its finest hat, courtesy of Body Spartan, just because we like you. There are no strings attached, totally free. This is all of our awesome information being handed to you.
So on top of free information, you're saying that our listener or a listener or all of them are going to get a free hat too?
All they got to do is click on the link, go sign up. If they go to the webinar, because we've got software that shows who bounces early on those webinars. If you stay to the end, you will get a free hat, and shipping is on us.
And
So-
everybody that bounces early gets a backhand.
I swear to God.
We're going to
if-
line
if-
you up and...
I swear, if they get a hat before I get a hat,
Yeah.
I'm going to be really upset.
Let's go get him a hat
you know
right
what?
now.
I've been trying to get Sean to get you a hat for about 4 months.
Well,
Poor
Howard's-
Sean. He's like
well,
the best.
no, well,
he does everything.
He can't
It is
defend
depends.
himself
in
on
my,
here,
in,
so
my, in my
there's-
discovery, I've moved a little bit. I've been all over the place. I've been pretty disconnected, but
you know what? At the end of the day, you're still here.
at the end of the day, I'm
And
still
if you
here.
do it on
Cheers.
purpose, then you're the only one that drinks. Faker.
Faker.
Couple other quick things, guys. Let's just roll through this so we can get to the bulk of this podcast. We probably go for like 20 minutes already.
But it's okay. I mean, honestly, this is an exception because
This is the makeup podcast.
Our listeners are like right now.
clamoring.
Their
Mecca.
ears are just orgasm, orgasm, orgasm. They're like, oh, red beard, red beard.
It's more like eargasm.
Oh, eargasm.
Well, all right. In other news, coming up soon, we have our brand new program with David Larson, and it's called Forge 5X. We were listening to you guys talk about the extensive amount of workouts that we have you do, and our philosophy has. What do you? Okay, that's fine.
she's gonna drink and go get us.
Oh,
ice.
you're
It's
gonna
great.
get one of your other drinks. Okay, got it.
And she'll bring us ice.
We listened to you guys. Oh, you're gonna crawl over me. Hang
Oh
on.
my God! Hold on. Not this again. All right, let me give you a visual, guys. Priscilla is straddling Gabe right now. And Gabe may be at half mast.
Might have drugged the foot right over the cock. Okay.
God, wow.
All right. Forge 5X. We listen to you guys clamor about all of our workouts and how difficult they are in a good way. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, they're 6 days a week. You got to be fucking dedicated. Well, we thought we'd do something for the working person that only can dedicate 5 days a week.
Which is what? Like, it seems like 90% of the world nowadays. So,
Probably.
Like, hey, guess what? We have a solution for you guys. Now, before we go into this, like, Forge, we got this new program coming. Unless you rather wait for it. Where did you get the name, Gabe? Forge? Yeah, so Forge. Why Forge?
I literally sat down and I thought, okay, what is something that really is like the base? Like, everybody talks about being shredded and being ripped, and they're like, I'm thinking, dude, I want to think like Greek god, and then it's really hard. Our programs they're serious, they're really hard, they're difficult. Like, you're forged in the iron of, you know, in the pits of hell, or it's like iron or steel. You got to forge it in fire. And I just was like, yo. Forge. Let's do it.
And that's, see, I like that because of my first instinct, or my first, like, you know, thought is, for all you Marvel lovers out there, is I think of, you know, what is it, Avengers, you know?
Which one?
Like, when the last one, Infinity Wars, is that what it was? Yep. When Thor goes to get his axe, you know, and he's having the axe made, he's being forged, this big thing. Like, when you think Forge, I'm like, oh my God, something epic's being made. Like, something, the one weapon to rule them all kind of thing, you know?
Stormbreaker.
The Storm, oh, there it is. Gabe's obviously
I love
more
Peter
than
Dinklage, but that accent he threw in there for that, I just cringed a little bit. Stormbreaker. I don't think anybody could have done that any better, though. That's a weird
Which
name.
I'm excited to see the Stormbreaker come out and have some fun.
Did anybody notice, though, that total sidebar, but I know I say don't watch TV, but I've gotten sucked into fucking Game of Thrones on, I think it might have been your...
Yeah, it probably
Was
was.
it you?
Yeah, it was probably me because I'm a Game of Thrones whore.
I'm so here and there. I've been watching and catching up. I don't watch hours of TV, but I've been binging a little bit on Game of Thrones, and
Because
I'm
the
going
new
into
season's coming out.
because it's rad, and it's like there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of naked chicks and stuff, so it's pretty cool. But when Joffrey is sitting at the table at like the wedding, gets the sword that's the gift, and like, oh, what should I call this? Somebody from the crowd yells out Stormbreaker. And and Peter Dinklage just looks back and goes, And I'm all, what? Is that an Infinity Wars reference, dude?
Well, here's the thing, though, because that's like season 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, it's super early on.
Okay, so that's like, we think this is season 7?
We're going into season 8, I think.
8, right?
Yeah, because I'm in season 7
So you
right
have
now.
to keep in mind, that's like 5-6 years ago. So, dude, Infinity Wars wasn't even in a thought.
So did Peter Dinklage just throw that out there? Like,
Oh,
I got
my.
a great name. We're going to call it Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
He's rad, by the way.
He's truly inspiring.
Very much, very, very much. Okay, so back to Forge. The idea here is to give you something totally different. And we're going to do 5 workouts a week, 5 exercises in each workout, and it's going to be 50 minutes long, a workout, no longer. And the beautiful part about this is, for years I said this could not be done, but with intermittent fasting and the science behind it, I've literally consulted with tons of pros, nutritionists, including Priscilla, and we figured out how to actually shred and bulk in the same fucking program. It's a 12-week program, and we're going to start you off with intermittent fasting with keto macros. And we every 2 weeks, just like G2, every 2 weeks we're changing the training style. So we're going to do some different training styles for the first 4 weeks. So we got 2 different training styles there. We're going to be on keto macros. We're going to go to carb-centric macros that are intermittent fasted as well. And then we're going to go, in the last 4 weeks, we're going to go to keto deficit macros. And it's all intermittent fasting. And the results are going to be amazing. When you intermittent fast, your growth hormone, thank you for the ice, sweetheart. Ice in the Johnnie Walker, if anybody's that's wondering what that is. You can increase your growth hormone naturally by up to 5 times. And we're going to get into this later because summer is coming. So
Okay,
I'm
good,
going to
good,
save
good, 'cause
that.
I have a lot of questions.
For anybody that's just looking to get this new program, you want to shred, you want to bulk all at the same time, you want carbs, you're not sure about keto, well, we got a little bit of both for you. This is going to be one hell of a fucking program. And also, this program is only available on our new All Access Pass. And so what I've done with that is I have created, or I should say we, looked at this and we're like, dude, okay, $100 a program is kind of a big pop for people. And
So you're explaining to like who may be new, like viewer or listeners, what the pass is?
What the all access
Okay,
pass
cool.
is.
So this
Because
is the
here's the
all
way
access
our
pass.
new model going forward is that I wanted to bring you guys the most value possible. And we are seriously starting to expand. We're going to be doing 4 programs a year minimum is the way that we're going to do this. And I mean, we've got people clamoring for home programs, gym programs, indoor, outdoor, like all sorts of different programs. And we're running about $100 a pop a program. And I go, you know what? I want people to have ongoing access to this. And we've got our Spartan Army, which is the weekly content. You get a weekly standalone workout, that was a big burp. A weekly fitness tip, weekly motivational video, and now we're doing monthly recipe shows for you guys. That was $20 a month, standalone. And what I did is I go, look, it's like a car payment. People may not be able to afford the whole thing, but they can't afford payment. So I said, dude, let's just break this down and let's do this where we give them a monthly subscription price and they get all of the programs, old and new.
So you're saying instead of like paying like, okay, whatever, $99.99, $59.99, whatever a program may run. So instead of paying that, kind of like we'll use some connector, anyone that plays any games, Xbox, Call of Duty, when they buy the Game Pass, whenever new DLC or content comes out, they paid for that Game Pass, so they're getting automatically. So if you're a subscriber, you're not buying the programs as they come, you automatically get them because that's part of the benefit of your monthly subscription.
Yep. And you get access to the Spartan Army, so you get all those standalone workouts, you get all the recipes, you get that huge archive that's there, and it's updated weekly.
And I love how every business advisor that we've ever had has been like, Gabe, don't do this. You're crazy.
So one point, because I like to do math, guys. So so we're doing this right. So if programs are running at $99 or whatever, you mentioned $100. So they're running a $100 program, and your commitment is 4 programs a year, guys. That's $400. And what is 20 times 12? That's $240.
Yes. So right now it's $29.99 a month. But I'm gonna do a special. I've got a promotion running, and if you use the coupon code AAP for All Access Pass, AAP10, it's going to take $10 more off your monthly subscription price. So bring it to $19.99.
Do you understand that this
is
the
month?
classic reason?
1 month for $19.99, yeah.
This is the exact...
Well, no, that's ongoing, though, too. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay.
This is why our CPA is up my butt all the time. Because you don't do this. Seriously, everybody has told you no.
Good for everybody, bad for business. No, but I'm
the one that has to deal with it.
I look
You
at it
get
this
to...
way.
Why can't
we do something like Netflix or Hulu? I mean, obviously our price point is slightly higher, but the value that you're getting from us is totally unmatched with anybody on the entire internet. We have 6 existing programs plus it's the Johnnie Walker talking. You know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to get this right.
God damn you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink, 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 drink.
No, I mean, not only that,
our price point is slightly higher, but we have so much fucking value. I mean, when you're sitting at home watching Netflix and Hulu, are you getting shredded? Are you learning motivational skills? Are you learning life skills? No, you're not.
Okay, but then to that point, what separates us from these other guys trying to get into the business, coming at us? I don't know if you've seen them. Some guys are like, oh, I want to sell this thing for $5, $10.
That really frustrates me. I've seen people offering ebooks for $5 a pop, and if you read the comments,
they might be worth that, maybe.
They are literally just a workout is all you're getting. And what you get with every single one of our programs is you get 10 to 12 weeks of workouts. Usually some of our programs like Ignite or the Big Arm Bible, they're 30 days, and we specifically tell you they're 30 days, but you get nutrition calculated by a master sports nutritionist, a.k.a.
First Lady of Body Spartan, Priscilla.
There you go. You get nutrition. You get instructional videos. So we break down every single exercise for you in our 10 and 12 week programs.
Did you say your favorite ginger? Did you do that tonight?
You did.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. At the end of the day, everybody wants to hear it.
End of the day. Cheers.
You also, with every one of our programs, get a little bit of your favorite ginger.
You do get a little bit of Howie. And I'm not going to say how you get that, but
cheers. However you want. Ladies, my number...
So you get instructional videos. We also do a preseason where this is unlike anybody else. So we take at least 4 videos, and they're 15 to 20 minutes long each, but we explain the entire program, the philosophy behind it, how to meal prep, what you need to know about nutrition. We get into goal setting, and a lot of them we talk about motivation, and then we get you ready to go. So this way there are no questions. So if you watch the preseason videos, you're set.
So if I know nothing about fitness, I'm set to go. It's going to walk me through it.
Yeah, or take Savage Shred, David's first intermittent fasting program. With Savage Shred, we spent 4 videos discussing why intermittent fasting works. well, not 4 videos, but we talked about the basics, and then we talked about in-depth nutrition, and then the science behind it, so that everybody understands, okay, this is why it's working.
So you're not just getting a meal plan that says eat this, eat this, eat this.
No.
You know, you're also educating our buyer, our fans,
Yes.
our customers. You know, our Body Spartan army. You're educating them on like why we're giving them this diet.
One of the things that people always bring up is that they go, well, you know, do you guys have a meal plan, like a meal by meal breakdown of what I need to eat? And we tell them no. And the reason why is that meal by meal plans have proven to fail time and time again. And what we do is we give you your macros, and they're custom calculated for you, like for your body, specifically based on variables you put in. And then we give you we give you your macros, but in the preseason videos, we explain the nutrition plan. And the problem is that people get tied down, they get locked down onto meal plans, and they have to eat the same shit every day for 12 weeks. One of the 6 human needs,
And I've done that.
is variety. We need uncertainty. We need variety, dude. How much
But
fucking
also,
chicken and rice could
nobody
you
likes
choke
to
down,
be
dude?
told what to do.
Yeah, so we educate
We
you.
want direction, but we don't want domination.
Well, not only that, I think even the bigger point, you know, like piggybacking off of Gabe here, is like what separates our programs from others is like we're not just giving you a program that says do this. We're educating you on it, because how's the saying go? You can give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, or you can teach a man to fish and feed him for a lifetime.
Exactly, dude. That was our biggest thing.
So, you know, like that's what separates it, is like you see so many programs out here. It's like, all right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to do X, you know, Y, and then a little bit of Z, and you're going to get to your goals. All right. And then when you do that, you're going to come back to me, and then you have to buy my next program, and I'm going to tell you this, this, and this. And when you're done with that, I'm going to buy you the next program, etc. How many times on our Facebook page have people said, hey, I'm going through this program for the 3rd time, I'm doing this. Once they get it the first time, and even the best part, ready for this? This is probably the coolest thing, is when we get questions on our Facebook page. We don't even have to really say anything, honestly. We do for credit. Hey, so we do it so that people know that they're getting an accredited source, and that they know that, like, okay, they're doing the right thing. But most of the time, our previous people that have completed the programs and gotten the results, they're the ones answering
They answer it
so
for
it'll
me.
be like, hey guys, or hey Body Sport, hey Gabe, hey Howard, I'm coming to this, what do I do here? And next thing you know, there'll be 15, 20, 100 fucking posts of people like, oh no, this is what you do, this is what I did. I'm like, this is a community. So not only are we selling programs for individual goals, but we're building an army. That's why we call you our Spartan
And
army.
we have the Facebook group, the private Facebook group. So when you buy the All Access Pass or any one of our programs, you get access to our private Facebook group, which has thousands of members in it that have done this many, many times. And one thing I need to say too, that I see a lot of questions on with the All Access Pass. People go, hey, am I going to lose access to my programs I've already bought? No, dude, we're not douchebags. Like we're not in it for the money. We're in it to try to bring you the most value. Although I have to say that you guys should really understand that, yeah, we're now a business, because we're doing what we love and we're being compensated for it, and we have to pay our bills. We have to cover our overhead. So yes, we need to make a profit on this, but I'm trying to bring you the ultimate best value possible at the lowest price. That is my goal.
And you know what's so funny? This brings me back to the days, the first 2-3 years, where we offered value and no product. There was nothing for people to buy, and they would beg us. They're like, please tell us where to put our money.
Oh, it was that old meme, like, shut up and take my money. Remember that, Howie, when we were cutting iPhone videos back in the day?
But
said,
like, okay,
this is all we
here's the thing.
have,
Priscilla
sorry.
says, like, oh, I remember the day, acting like we still don't do that. Like, how much free content is there
So
really out
true.
there? I mean, honestly, like, you guys, we don't hide ourselves. You have connection to us. Like, I get messages on a regular basis, and I'm always answering questions. So you're getting that, and that's free value. And, like, I'm using my time to do it because it's something I'm passionate about. You know, we post articles on a regular basis.
Like the
We do-
5-arm workout.
you know, we do these things, and guess what, guys?
Crazy.
Anyone can read them. You can read them. Your Grammy, like, you know, getting 18 viruses because she doesn't know how to use a fucking computer, and she just happens to stumble upon fucking Big Arm Bible. You know, she's reading these free articles.
I really thought you were going to
She's
say
pumping
something else that was
iron.
big.
She's
I
getting
mean,
huge.
who knows what Granny's looking into?
She's getting so big right now.
She's getting huge, all right?
She's kind
But
of a
all
big
I'm
deal.
saying is, like, anyone on the interwebs, you know, can search this and really find a lot of this stuff. And, like, so it's
much
not
free
something we do.
information.
Like, sure, at the end of the day, we're running a company, we're running a business, and guess what? No, hey, businesses don't run off of hopes and aspirations, unfortunately, you know, at the end of the day. But that's just the real world, and everyone should know that. But at the end of the day, our number one thing...
Wait.
End of the day.
There it is. See, like
Oh,
literally,
my-
I didn't even try. I didn't know it was not intentional. But the point is,
be so
the
drunk
point
tonight, Jesus.
is, guys, is
saying
that
it.
we always strive to give more than we receive.
I want everybody to fully comprehend what happens right now. When Howard and I and Priscilla drink, we don't do the usual bar shots. So we have cocktail glass. There it goes. Oh, shit, Howard. Did we ever tell the story about casino night?
Oh my God, they're not ready for that. Let's get. Don't distract. We were on some motivational
well,
right
we
now.
just have to really say that when we do indulge in some liqueur, we put, 6 of those like rectangular ice cubes that your refrigerator makes in a cocktail glass, and then we fill that fucking thing to the top.
all the way to the top.
So that's got to be 6, 7 shots in there probably.
Who counts?
I don't know. So we're on glass number 2 right now. Howard's almost ready for a third refill.
Which means that as we go on with this
you're
podcast,
almost
I'm already
said it.
starting. As we go on with this podcast, I was going to say, but as we go on with the podcast, it gets a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining.
There might be some
You
slurry.
know, honestly, for your enjoyment.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
just
living
going to
it.
say, my little puppies and kittens, I might have to take over.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
these boys are getting schweisted.
Meow.
The podcast, ladies and gentlemen, let us actually begin with the meat and potatoes of this fucking thing. Summer is coming.
Whoa, can we just
Twigs
say
and berries of this thing? What?
Maybe can we just say something more plant based?
That's right, because everybody's gone vegetarian in this group.
Oh my God! What did you
spoiled
say?
it.
He might have spoiled. I don't hear anything. Continue
Everybody,
what you were saying before you
including
go back.
Howie, has now become vegetarian.
Okay, and we're gonna get there real soon, guys. I know it sounds really crazy. Just bear with us.
Should
Continue what
I
you're saying.
tap
We will get
into
there.
it?
Summer is coming, and this is the Game of Thrones themed podcast. Summer is coming. The long winter is over, and here's the thing: it's now April 2nd, 2019, when we are recording this.
It is. It's April 2nd.
Why are you waving at me all weird?
I'm telling you, I want to introduce. I want. I do. I have something to say.
Okay, do it,
Maybe I have something to say, guys.
Go. No,
You know
you go.
when I get on my moods or my rants,
Do
I
it,
just
do it,
tend
do
to
it.
just go.
We love it, Howard. Do
You
it.
love it. You love all
Love
of it.
it. We love
All
it.
I'm saying, guys, is at the end of the day.
God damn
I just wanted to drink before I say this. Oh.
Cheers. Jesus. Okay, we're not going to stop cheersing. We're going to start just drinking.
No, guys, we are on
Okay,
April
go
2nd.
Howie.
Hey, guess what? We passed
Go
another
Howie.
holiday. St. Patty's Day gone. We have Easter coming. We are in the midst of spring. Summer's right around the corner, and I cannot not stress this enough, guys. How many times... Oh, my God. You would.
Keep talking.
No,
Do
I
it.
can't.
This is your moment. Right
Summer
now.
is coming.
Summer is coming.
There's no talking during the intro of Game of Thrones.
I was always wondering why they had. It's like a 2-minute intro or 3-minute intro.
Yeah,
almost.
and you see all of the kingdoms.
Yeah,
and
and
they're
it's
building
coming.
them.
You know what it is too? I remember back in the day when all the sitcoms were like in the 80s, and you'd see the intro come on, like Alf. Does anybody remember Alf?
I wasn't allowed to
All right,
watch
well,
it.
let's not talk about this because now we're dating our age.
Well, I'm
here.
dating me, but the point is, it would come on, and you go run and grab your food and whatever with your family. You'd sit down in front of the TV. I think they did that on purpose so that you hear the theme song, and everybody grabs their shit and gets excited, and they sit down in front of the TV.
Oh,
Was it something like that?
100%.
Because I was never allowed to listen to it. Was it something like that? Alf?
No, Alf was not like
Can
that.
we watch Alf this week?
Oh my goodness!
I was never allowed to watch it, and I feel like I need to make up for my childhood.
Priscilla
Can you
just
hold
said
my
nobody-
hands? It was
nobody
really
said
hard.
that.
Nobody listening knows.
Priscilla
what
just
Alf
said that
is.
she wants to watch TV. All
I
right,
was
that's
never-
rare, Gabe.
Oh,
you
wait.
need to do that.
Hold
with
on,
him.
I'm not actually gonna watch it.
Oh wow!
I mean, I will watch it for like 3 seconds. Yep.
Oh, my-
And you know what that song was? That song was "Turn Off the TV." Priscilla,
Oh, that was turn off the
Priscilla.
TV. This was turn off the TV.
Priscilla, turn
Your
off the-
mom
Priscilla.
saying no TV.
Wait, what is? How is my name said?
Priscilla. All right, so the idea here is it's April 2nd, 2019. Howie, did you want to say something?
No,
before?
you totally stole my thunder with a tangent, but keep going. Keep
I'm
going.
sorry.
But he did the same.
Summer is coming, and everybody is not thinking about being in shape for summer because what happens? Everybody, the sun comes out. We're like, yo, summer's here. Cool. Sun's out. Guns out. Oh, shit. I don't have any guns, and I'm sloppy looking. Then they freak out. They want to jump on a program and get
I
shredded
feel
as
like
quickly
people
as
are
possible.
more freaked out about their abs,
Definitely abs. Definitely
less
abs.
than their arms.
Way more, because what do we look at when we go to the pool? Who's got the most ripped abs? And I'll be honest, like, I see a dude at, like, is Towel Beach still cool? I don't know. Like, That's last time I went to Vegas. What? Oh no, Marquis is the place to be now, right?
Yeah, Marquis for sure.
I'm trying so hard not to date myself. No.
You just go and get tattoos. I'm the one sitting by the
Yeah,
pool.
I just go to Vegas, get tattoos, and P goes to the pool. So, when I'm at Marquis and some dude pulls off his shirt and he's way more shredded than me, I'm like, yeah, motherfucker.
So by the way,
I will cut a motherfucker.
Oh, by the way, and now Gabe and Priscilla don't know this, but it's something I'm doing, so I'm just throwing it out there.
Let's hear it.
But
I'll be there.
The end of May.
Done.
I'm talking like May,
Done.
like Memorial Day. That
Not
for
the
that
end of the
weekend.
day, but the end of May.
The end of oh my god,
27.
drink. But hey, the end,
do it on
but the end of May.
purpose.
So a good buddy of mine who lives in
Wait, you
Vegas.
said end of the day again? That's 3. We said it 3 times. Shit.
I need a new drink. So what I'm saying is
gonna
that
be
I have a
some
friend that
dirty
lives in
sex
Las
later.
Vegas who's a
Yeah.
geometry teacher. I'm going to give him a shout out. Frank Bruno out there. He's a great guy, great teacher. I see a lot of videos of him. Students love him, kind of
He's gonna
guy.
get
But anyway, he's turning
what's
40.
coming to her.
He's turning 40,
Yep.
and that's a big milestone.
Okay.
And
Wait, who's this guy? I totally spaced out.
He's a really good.
Instructor.
He's a good friend of mine. He's a geometry teacher in Vegas.
cool.
I've known him for about 10 years. His 40th birthday is coming up, and I'm going to Vegas.
May?
I'm going to Vegas
Wait,
at the end
what?
of May.
At the end of May.
At the end of May to kind of celebrate his 40th birthday. And it's
To
going to be
kind of
it's going to be a
celebrate
great
his-
weekend. And
We're
what
only
I'm
gonna kind
saying
of celebrate.
is, are you coming with me?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Are you coming with me?
Jesus.
Can we put some money aside? Can we do whatever we gotta do and make May happen?
The problem was when I go to Vegas,
Bartender.
I spend a lot of money.
You do. You like
We
to
rent
do,
suites at the Cosmo.
Gabe likes to pull power moves.
Yeah, I do. We go to fucking Diplomat Rentals with Justin. I rent a fucking Huracan every time I'm there. We spend lots of money doing stupid shit, and
Which
yeah.
is it's
But
all
yet
fun
we
and all,
don't even gamble.
But here's the thing, but that's a good thing. You don't gamble. Instead, you just like to throw that money right away. Instead of losing that money slowly over the time you're there, you're like, you know what?
How do I explain
Let's
to
just
the-
rent a Huracan.
the
Would you
capital I'm
rather
about to
drive
get
around
from
in a Lamborghini?
investors, like, how do I be like? So May was a really big branding month for us.
We it can always be
Back
that
to our
we'll do it,
roots.
but hey, this is let's step aside.
am
You
I
know,
drinking? I need to drink
here's
what we
what
say at the end of the day.
Here's what. Oh my damn you, game.
Sorry.
All I'm asking you is this is for a birthday for a good friend.
So you want me to go to Vegas with you?
I think it would be a great time if you guys, or
Okay,
if you guys-
wherever we go, our team goes too. Because we have been coaching a team of 60 freaking powerhouse players. Wherever we go, they go for the rest of the
You're
year.
talking about our
that's why-
transformation team? You want
Our
them to join us?
transformation
Oh.
team is coming
that's-
with
hey,
us.
That's why I'm throwing it on the podcast, because I'm saying I would like you guys to go, and it's not about that. Like honestly,
saying
like,
we
hey,
bring our team.
if
You
we
bring
need a
us, we bring our
If
team.
we need a place to stay, like he's going to cover, we can save so much money. We don't have to go crazy there. But if we want to make a thing of this, we are inviting anyone that wants to fly out there at their own cost, whatever. I promise that person, whoever, I don't care if one person, it could be 100 people. I don't
We
care.
cannot
I
post
promise
this
I will put
podcast.
all of them through the most intense workout, memorable workout they've ever been through, something that they will hold on to, that they will use over and over, that they will show friends, that they will show family. I can promise you, if people show up, I will show them experience. Because why? Because it's something I'm passionate about.
Yep.
We're going
Are we
not
gonna
for a
do
business.
this?
Hey, this isn't a business
Is
venture.
this happening?
Well, to be honest, there are
Howard
no.
I
is
will
like
be there.
going
There are
live
no
to the
races.
universe right
There
now.
are no races in May. All the races are April, and then we skip May and we start in June for race
Howard
rounds for motorcycle
Alexander
racing.
Jr.
My middle name's not Alexander, by the way.
McStuffins.
So, okay, for all you
Like, you're
You
doing
might
this
have a
right now. Do you
7-year-old
even
if.
understand?
HDP3, which stands for Howard. I won't tell you my middle name, because
Alexander Jr.
if you come up to me and guess my middle
There it
name,
is.
You
I
can say
swear to
Alexander
God,
Jr.
Perry the third.
Sonata.
But all I'm saying is,
Dinklage?
if you guys come
Dingleberry?
out, I promise you.
Dings-
I don't care who you are.
Dingsford?
You find me. You name the 24-hour City Sports. I don't care what gym. We will get a good lift in, and I promise you, you will have something that you will be able to take
gotta
with
be
you and
City
show.
Sports.
Are we
or
going to
go
post
home.
this? And is this just something we're randomly going to do that we're just going to
I
Vegas?
will be
I
there
say
no
our
matter what.
team comes.
So right now, I'm telling, hey, to our
Team
body
is
sports team,
invited.
Howard, aka HTP3, aka Captain Redbeard, aka your favorite ginger, will be in Vegas at the end of May, going into June.
Howie,
If you
what
show
is
up-
that date? What is that exact date?
We need the exact date, but why don't you check your phone?
It's I think it's the Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, jeez.
27th.
It's a big weekend.
That's my best friend's birthday.
Should we just go all in for a suite? That way we can like sleep on the couches and
if
stuff.
you want to do that, we can do that. But
or maybe we do a penthouse and
But
we get
our
like the
team-
4-bedroom thing.
If we do a
Our
penthouse,
team definitely gets to coach. Our team is going to be in this workout.
Well, okay.
But anybody else, they
I will-
need to pass through
I don't know if I can be a part of
Sean.
that.
Everybody else has to pass through Sean.
I don't know if I can be a part of that, and I think this is another good segue.
Okay, so
While
Gabe's
you're
not
looking up the
allowed to
date,
lift. Gabe still can't lift. He's not allowed to pick
I
up
think
a weight.
there's something that this is the podcast where we're real, and I think it's just everybody should know that I'm dealing with a hereditary heart issue. Been dealing with it for a year and a half. Everybody's like, "Why have you
He's
lost all your
not
gains,
allowed to
dude?
lift, and he's not allowed to.
Why have you lost all your? What did you say earlier, Howard? R.I.P. gains.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. gains.
So, guys,
still
He's got a
235.
heart
when
condition.
people make fun of like Ginger for stealing souls, you have to understand that I steal more than a soul. I steal your gains, and as my beard grows, Gabe gets smaller and I get bigger.
That's
it's just
literally
crazy.
what's happening. I'm getting smaller as Howard's beard's growing. He's getting massive. I was diagnosed with what's called an aortic aneurysm. My mom had open heart surgery about 6 months ago for this, and they said, "Hey, dude, we need to look at you." I've been having some weird palpitations and heart issues, AFib, all sorts of stuff for the last year and a half. And they did some scans, and they said, "Oh, look at that! Your aorta is enlarged." So the inner portion of my aorta, think of it like a pipe. Every pipe's got a thickness in the wall to it. My thickness is getting very thin, and ultimately, what happens with aortic aneurysms is there's no symptoms. You don't feel any pain. All of a sudden, your aorta just splits open, and you bleed out in about 3 minutes and die. So the surgeon that did my mom's surgery, she had a full replacement of her aorta, wants to see me, and I've been instructed do not lift until that time. So I had a CT scan yesterday, so they're basically going to compare that to the one I had done last year, and then I have an echo on Friday, and then I'm going to Stanford on the 10th to figure out if I need surgery that week or if it's going to be 20 years from now. So for all you guys are going, well, Gabe's got hella skinny. Yeah, I definitely lost a lot of muscle mass, but my longevity is way important to me than any types of gains. I want to be 80, 90, 100 years old. I want to see my kid grow up. I want to see her get married. I want to see my grandchildren. And while I may not be the biggest dude on the planet right now, I still have a lot to offer you guys. I've got a ton of knowledge. I've been doing this for 24, almost 25 years now. I'm just a fucking encyclopedia of knowledge for you guys. So while I'm in between, what's going to be cool though is if I do get cleared, which I'm really hoping I can, we can watch this transformation. We can watch me get back to where I was. I'm never going to be 280 pounds again. I'm racing motorcycles. I'm on the amateur circuit. I can't be 280 and racing motorcycles. I've got to be 230, 220, even 210. So my goal, if I get cleared, is to be super shredded. Anyway, all that aside, what date do you have there, Howie, for Vegas?
The 27th of May.
27th of May?
Pretty hot and sexy, but we are looking for an exact date when we have an agreement with City Sports.
I got the exact date for you guys. All right. Wow. Let's
Here
calm
it
down
comes.
a little
Here it
bit. All
comes.
right.
We're coming down.
We are getting there, guys. We are getting there.
Well, maybe by the end of the day.
Oh, you know why?
Maybe
Oh
we'll
my
post
God,
it
guys!
below.
I'm
At the end of the day, Howard will have this for you.
God damn it! I'm right.
No.
Motherfucker.
No, I have the date right here in front of me. By the way, everyone, it's just
What is even going on with the amount of alcohol
There's a
consumption that
shit
is
ton.
going on?
I am so going to plow you later.
Everybody look over there. Jesus.
Did you slur?
Jesus.
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 Like Jeebus?
Jesus. No,
Jeebus.
this is Jesus.
Jeebus.
He's like, I know. He's like, I see that idiot. I know what you got to put up with.
We've done podcasts where we've been
all
totally
good.
butt naked, and now we're doing the unofficially sponsored by Johnnie Walker podcast, where we're all just slurring our words.
This
trying to get.
episode is a mess.
We had so much. I was just thinking this was going to be a great comeback episode. We bantered for like an hour in the beginning about nothing.
I have our title. This episode
Summer
is a
coming.
mess.
This episode is. I'm going to change it. This episode is a mess.
This episode is a mess.
All right.
I think
got?
we need
I
to write it
Okay,
down.
okay. So Memorial Day is the 27th. So the weekend that I do believe that it would be the weekend of the 25th, 26th, leading into Memorial Day because it's a 3-day weekend.
So we should basically
27th.
book our flights and hotels now because that's going to be a big ass busy weekend.
I was looking at earlier. The prices honestly were not a lot, but what it requires, and this goes to anyone
We're staying
listening.
with you, Howie.
Either you leave the Tuesday or you leave the Thursday going in. So don't leave the main day when everyone gets off of work on
I have
Fridays.
no problem
Do
going
not
a day
come home
early.
on the holiday itself Monday, or else you'll face a
Plan
lot
now.
of charges.
Work
But
weekends now.
if I'm correct, like I was looking the other day, it was $180 round trip flight from where we live, San Francisco. We're only an hour and a half flight. No,
To
so
Vegas,
that's us.
180 round trip?
180, which is crazy.
Okay, so then we need to get a hold of Justin at Justin Roberts at Diplomat Imports and say, yo, dude, we need a Huracan for the weekend.
You're trouble.
When that only fits two. So, Howie, what are you going to rent?
Oh my God!
Are we
What am
going
I
to get
gonna rent?
the Nissan GTR? Or like,
Oh
what is
my-
it?
Off
that-
the red Ferrari.
Oh, the red Ferrari with the squeaky brakes that we got in Washington and
when I
Seattle?
drove the 458 Spider, dude, it had squeaky brakes. It literally ruined Ferraris.
So
for me.
random. I remember we were downtown in Seattle, and I had the. They didn't have a Huracan, but they had a Gallardo, and so I had the Gallardo with P. No, P was driving the. You had the McLaren. Yeah, Priscilla had the McLaren. I had the Gallardo, and Howie had the
A 458 Spider.
the Ferrari 458 Spider.
But legit, I'm going to have that car.
And it
Careful when you're looking
these
through my photos over
exotic
there, Stella. You might find
cars
some
have
stuff you don't.
ceramic
Oh.
brakes, and they squeal. And I remember we were downtown Seattle with all these skyscrapers, and we were pulling up the stoplight, and
You might see some things you don't.
we heard Howie and Brandon squealing right next to us. We're all thinking, man, whose brakes are those? And then Howie realizes it's his brakes. It's just
Oh my
like,
God, so
rolled
embarrassing.
the windows up and just totally ruined the experience of having that nice Ferrari.
Okay, so
he was
you're
driving.
sitting around driving $180,000, $200,000 freaking vehicle, and you're coming to a stop, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, here comes this awesome Ferrari!" And you coming in like,
This is why you rent cars like that in Las Vegas and not.
Yeah, well, it's a thing. Anyway, so summer is coming, guys. I got to get to the bulk of this
Okay,
podcast.
Justin, let's get to the
and
book.
only Justin.
So no, well, here's the thing: our listeners want entertainment, and
They
you know
do.
what? We're giving them a little bit of that. By
This is
the
a
way.
very different podcast.
Hey,
We're usually
but-
super organized, and now it's just we're just fucking
well,
drunk.
because guess what?
We
Your
are not posting this.
No,
We're
no,
totally-
we are definitely
we
posting
can
this.
never
No, you
not.
know what? Because your favorite ginger is on the episode, and I know
We
you've all
have
been
to post it.
You've all been craving it, guys. I'm sorry, I've been MIA. Like I've been really focused on myself, but I'll tell you what. This year, and when I say this year, 2019. You may have not seen a lot of me. You may have not seen a lot of new, fresh content, but I promise you, I will kick Gabe in the dick repeatedly.
Repeatedly.
Until we come out with some new, fresh content for you guys, because
You have
it's-
been hammering me about that.
because I've been hammering him about him, and it's something I'm passionate about, and I'm gonna.
Well, I've been the
I'm gonna
fucking
foreshadow-
poster boy for 5 years,
Well,
and
a little-
I'm
although-
like, I can't be the poster boy because I have heart
You
issues.
can't do the poster boy, and it's
And
like, who wants to be the
so
poster boy?
who's gonna
And-
step up to the fucking
and we
plate?
got David Larson over here, the motherfucking beast. I love that guy. You
Yeah,
know, but at
he's
the end
so
of the
ripped.
day, he's always shredded, ripped at the. You know,
Well,
but
and there's Danny Beefcake, who's part of the crew now.
hey,
too.
Danny Beefcake's always part of. But what is the number one thing that our viewers have always loved, which is their favorite ginger? Yeah.
There it is.
You know what?
Truth
Because I'm
comes
always
out.
I'm going to be real with you guys all the time. And not only that, it gives you a little bit more of that real world fitness. And we understand you guys are all out there grinding, and I get it. And I'm sorry. And I mean, I can only ask for your forgiveness that I've been missing in action for so long. But I promise you, there is more content to come, and you guys are going to see all of it. And we're going to come up with some creative, some fun things. Right there. It's coming, guys. It's coming. The ginger is coming.
Summer
you better
is
watch out.
coming.
Guess what? And just like the Ice King, I have my dragon.
All right, summer is coming. We have 80 days to summer as of immediately right now. Like, literally, there are 80 days to summer. And everybody's going, oh, I don't need to be in shape. But what happens is you need to start now. If you want to look good at that first pool party in June or wherever the fuck you're going, to the river, to the beach, or it gets hot, sweltering hot, wherever the fuck you are in Kentucky.
It does not start 1 week before that pool party.
No. And what happens is everybody goes, shit, I need to get shredded and lose a bunch of weight and lose a bunch of body. So what do? They go on these crazy crash diets.
Yeah, I'm going to juice for fucking a week, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not going to eat any food for
Yo,
a week, bro.
we're going to get on those D-balls. That we're
Oh
gonna
my
do.
God, guys. Hey, do you
Hey.
know anyone that sells gear? Because I need to get on a quick shredding cycle.
Howie, what do you think about SARMs, bro?
Bro, SARMs are really good. Hey, Howard, have you heard of like T3 and Clan?
What do you do? It's like an asthma medication, right, bro? But it's totally safe. Anyway, the fucking idea here, guys, is to not freak out. Because what happens when you... God, I get on a roll and P keeps walking in and out. What are you doing? Oh, you're filling up your alcohol. Keep drinking, girl, because it's going to be a great night for me later. So
yeah,
what
tell
happens
me
is people
more.
go on these crazy fucking crash diets and they lose a ton of muscle mass in the process. Or they go at it a week, they get frustrated, then maybe they go 2 weeks, they get frustrated, and then they fall off the fucking wagon. So here's what you do. You start now. There are 80 days left. Now. Right fucking now.
Now.
Not at the end of the day, right now.
Now.
God damn it.
Now.
End of the
Meow.
day.
Now.
Are we
Meow.
drinking or what?
We're
1, 2, 3,
drinking.
go. God, I'm just feeling this.
I just realized I'm super mad at you right now.
Why?
Oh my god, I'm so
Because we were
mad.
supposed to have
What's
crazy
on the
sex,
middle-
and now we're
Oh my, we're on a
podcasting.
podcast and Howard's in the fucking room.
Right? Okay, so that's the first thing. But the second thing is, what's in the middle of that plate?
Crackers and cheese.
Okay, no, what's in the middle of that plate?
Oh, fucking! It looks like cracker and
Those
cheese.
are crackers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Those are from our child's.
Actually,
She's leader of the day, and I'm supposed to bring snack, and that was part of the snack.
I bought those
looks-
for the last track day weekend, which was literally just.
I
happened 2 days ago.
commandeered them.
You can't come. That's my food. I saw it sitting on the
Hey,
counter.
well,
I'm like,
Priscilla,
hey,
looks like you're
I'm
going
gonna
to buy
do something
more
nice for us up
crackers.
here.
I guess. Where do you buy crackers at 7 in the morning?
Any grocery
Safeway?
store?
Yeah, Safeway's open 24/7. I'll tell you what. I will take Mia to school tomorrow, and I will get crackers on the way. How's that?
Gabe, just like
Are we posting this? Are you accountable to that?
I'll take her to school. Did I pick her up yesterday?
I have
today?
carpool. Are you taking carpool too?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh
you
my
picking
God,
up baby
guys, you know what?
Kaylee
I will
on the
just
way?
give Lindsay $10 and be like, pick up some shit on the way.
I'm gonna be the adult here. I'm gonna put my foot down.
I'm gonna be the adult.
Lenses
Can
on
we-
a
can we
detox.
get-
She ain't taking your $10.
Can
Yes,
we
we need to
not
get
worry
to the
about your
material.
daughter's goddamn crackers and
I'm
talk
just-
about our people's programs over here?
I'm gonna roll through the notes as fast as possible. It's been an hour of bullshit. We need to get to this. I swear,
Are we still on the intro?
we have a 15-minute time limit that we have upheld to in the past, where when we bullshit, it's literally 15 minutes before
Or
we get to the
10.
material.
Or 10 minutes.
Okay, well, the timer says, hang on, 1 hour, 1 minute. So
God.
we're
1 hour
not even at the
bullshit.
material yet.
It's been so
An hour of bullshit,
us.
literally. All right, so
so
the
fun.
whole
welcome.
idea that this is the goal of the podcast was to give you the fastest ways to get shredded for summer, and the way to do that, of course, above everything else, is with your nutrition. So, Howie, why don't you tell everybody what you're doing right now to be lean and shredded for summer, and then we'll talk about each one of our diets.
So I want everyone to know that, like, what I'm doing to be lean and shredded for summer.
Johnnie Walker has taken over.
Isn't necessarily, it didn't start with getting shredded for spring, for summer, for any of that. So going to your point, Gabe, you need to start something early. It's not about last second thing, because if I started thinking about this is why I'm doing this diet now, I'd be really screwed. But
It's so
I was
fucked up
thinking
right
the
now.
same thing, though. It's like you don't start in
Hey,
spring to
did
get
you-
ready
did
for
you-
summer,
Wait,
dum-dums.
Howie, did you hit the nectar before you came over too?
no, I didn't hit the.
Wait, hit the
I
what?
hit the
The nectar brought.
What's the nectar?
How does
the
Gabe know the
green?
nectar call? It's crazy.
Because I've been around Davey and Sean
The
so
green?
long. Yeah,
I can't even do the nectar. I have no
How
voice.
do you guys like smoke weed and then also stay like shredded and shit?
Okay, well, because
Wait. There are no calories
all right,
in weed.
well, okay,
I
well,
know, but it makes you crave stuff because
oh my
I
god,
used to
hey,
train
that's what.
fitness
touche,
athletes and they would be
Priscilla.
like totally shredded
Okay.
and then they
Okay.
smoke weed
Okay.
and then they eat all the food.
That's every.
I'm like, stop doing that.
ignorant.
You're being ignorant. You're being
Unknowledgeable.
unknowledgeable.
How do you being
Person.
ignorant?
No, it
Ignorant
really
like
is.
it.
It depends on the strain. But anyway,
Like it.
so back to the diet, so we can keep our listeners entertained here.
Save us from
other
ourselves,
than our
Howard.
Maybe we
BS.
talk about the nectar and how it gives you the mind-muscle connection. I mean, that could be
Okay,
a whole podcast in
okay.
itself.
You know what? Well, that could be a podcast within itself. And so, if you guys want to know about it, you'll have to listen to the next podcast.
We're gonna
we
do a
will
nectar
talk.
podcast.
We'll talk all about how.
talk
All right,
about
well,
it.
let's talk
how
about your
it's pretty-
nutrition right now. So, are
So-
you doing intermittent fasting? Are you doing
My
high
nu-
carbs, high protein, low fat, keto? What are you doing?
All right, I'm about to shock all of you, but it's something that a lot of us over here
Shock
at
all
Body
of us.
Spartan have really kind of adopted and kind of taken on and seen really good results. So I've recently, I would say 4 weeks loosely, but officially 2 solid weeks, have converted to vegetarian.
That's like saying I've been off heroin for 2 weeks.
But then again, I have been off meat for a year and a half.
Actually, congratulations, bro. I'm really proud of you.
No,
on a
it's like
serious
when
note.
you're ready, you just do it.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
when I-
if
when
there's
I
You went
say
cold
something.
turkey, right, dude?
I went cold turkey.
That's
So
what I did.
well, here's
Same
the thing,
here.
guys. When I say loosely and I say 4 weeks, it's been because the 2 weeks leading into my 2 weeks of strict vegetarian, I was slowly removing my meat, like,
Oh, so you didn't just
protein
go
sources.
cold turkey. You just kind of slowly removed it.
Well, yes, and
We
Cold
all,
turkey typically
actually,
means I
all
just
of us
gave
were
it up
that
in full.
way.
Well, because here's
No,
the
I
thing.
gave it up in full. I
staggered.
stopped one day and decided
Okay.
I
You
wasn't going
started
to.
dwindling first, though.
No, I didn't. One day I just said I'm done.
So to Gabe's point, it was not cold turkey, but it was a very, very steep stagger. So I basically cut out all protein sources other than eggs.
What, were you here watching me? Did you know?
He was
'Cause I
watching.
simply recall me telling you one day, oh, by the way, I'm vegetarian. How long have you been vegetarian? No fucking way, Gabe.
Howard's always watching the
I think
same
we went
way
to-
that Brandon is always watching, and he sneaks up
Well,
on
first
me
of all,
when I'm like
first of all,
doing
Gabe, I just
dishes.
wait.
And he's,
You said you
I
cold
think it was
turkey.
in
I'm
Captain
saying,
Marvel,
Punks me.
and I told you I was vegetarian Captain Marvel, and it's been like 6 months, dude.
hey,
Oh, wait, no, we
first,
saw
wow,
Endgame. We
you're
saw Endgame, and then I told you that.
Hey, first of all, I just said that you
Angry
cold turkey.
words.
I
Endgame.
staggered.
Angry
All I'm saying is I
words.
staggered. It's nothing about you cold turkey. I said I staggered it. So basically, what I did was my main protein source has always been eggs, and then it was ground beef and all on my meal preps. And I started experiencing a lot of inflammation issues and pain when I would eat red meats.
What do you mean, like inflammation and pain?
So okay, like, as I was explaining to you earlier, and we'll let our podcasters,
Did
our
you
listeners
spoil
know.
it like I know what's going to happen, and I've just kind of totally set up everybody?
So so it all started when
Howard felt like he had to have severe shits after he ate meat. This is really what happened.
So yes, okay. For all you that
thought you
didn't
were
need to know
gonna
the
shit his fucking-
information,
We're changing the name of this
Cramps in his
podcast.
abdomen.
It's called severe
Abdomen.
shits.
We will make it short. We'll make it quick so we can get back to our main topic. So
Because at the end of the day, we all wanna go home.
I had a steak and I had some
At
veggies.
the
and I
end
had
of the day, we all want to go
Oh my
home.
God.
Hold on,
let's
we're doing
drink.
Howard
Cheers.
right now. We're doing Howard right now. Go ahead, babe.
I said at the
Oh
end
my
of the day,
gosh,
you have
she
to
said
drink.
she's doing me. This is great.
No, it's not like that, buddy.
Damn, hard rejection right
Love
after.
you so much. It's like not even like that.
Basically, no, I made myself a steak meal. It was an amazing tri-tip, and I had rice, I had veggies, and I like started feeling like I had this real severe stomach ache after. I was like, I really had to like crap almost, but I didn't. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I made my meal preps, which were all ground beef and rice with veggies, and throughout the week, every meal I would feel almost like an inflammation, like almost like you're bloated, and like, but it was uncomfortable, kind of burning, painful.
What
I was
is
like,
the difference between bloat and inflammation?
bloated meaning like I felt like I was super full when I shouldn't have been pregnant in female terms, because males can't get pregnant.
Mostly they can't get pregnant.
They cannot
Mostly.
get pregnant.
I'm gonna call somebody real quick and ask them about their steaks, because I know that we're all
What is
We don't
happening?
call
Is this-
people
is it-
on the
we've
podcast.
never done this before ever. Let's see if he picks
Oh,
up.
is that Dad?
Rob,
Yeah.
what's up, dude? How you doing?
Hey!
Is this happening right now?
I just want to let you know that you're actually on our podcast right now.
What's up, Rob?
Really?
Yeah, I'm holding the phone to the microphone just to get it. We're talking about steak. So my, Priscilla and I went vegetarian. Howard literally went vegetarian 2 weeks ago.
Accident.
And he said every time I eat a steak, and I just instantly thought of you. And by the way, this podcast is unofficially brought to you by Johnnie Walker. So every time somebody says at the end of the day we gotta drink again.
I'm gonna be hammered.
Rob, take a shot and come back.
I curate my own beef, and I have a Johnnie Walker tattoo. So.
Wait, you have a Johnnie Walker tattoo? What?
All right, let's not tangent off so
Oh,
much.
heavens.
Ask the man
No,
about
wait,
the
hang
goddamn
on. Everybody be
steak.
quiet for just a second.
Oh,
Rob has a
heavens.
Johnnie Walker tattoo.
On my thigh, yeah.
Wait, is
Oh
that
my
next to the
God.
coming in hot tattoo on your
Bikini
other
li-
thigh?
Is it on your bikini line?
Yeah, Rob has a coming in hot tattoo on his thigh, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
For anybody that doesn't know, Rob is my racing teammate. We formed Body Spartan Racing. He rides a Cowie ZX6, and he's super cool. So anyway, tell us about your steaks, Rob, really quick, so that we can, for all the vegans out there, to piss them off.
We also want to hear if you'd get a Brazilian,
I
because
feel
if you've got
I
a...
feel like the world needs
Saying.
balance, right? So,
The world needs balance.
With everyone going vegan and eating couscous and all that, we need guys like me that are just going to come in and go buy buy meat by the pound and dry age it myself, and remind people how good meat can be.
All right, we just wanted to introduce you to the world. Love you, brother. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
I love it. Thanks for the call.
Later.
So
You have so many problems.
So
many levels.
Rob, thank you. We love you, man.
Oh my
It's always
God,
great.
love you,
so long
Rob.
story short, so I started experiencing some really uncomfortableness when I was after eating like any red meat products, and so immediately I was like, maybe it's just the beef. So I switched to the turkey. I noticed it go away. Started hanging out around David Larson, who is a vegan.
Yep.
Him and I are lifting partners. We've become really good friends. Well, him and his lady are both vegans, and so being around people,
And you guys go on cute hikes.
we
and
go on
stuff.
hikes, we do things, but we always express. You become surround yourself with people that you want to be, right? Or the people you surround yourself with are the people who you become, right? Or
Who are you calling? Stop
or the
it.
habits that you pick up.
Stop
Oh
it.
my God, I don't know who's.
Oh my gosh,
David
we are
Larson?
talking about good things.
Oh my God,
gosh,
Gabe is
Howard,
drunk
this is
and
so
calling you.
annoying.
So drunk
This
right
is
now.
what has to
him
happen
off.
every day.
Cut him off.
Do you even understand what I have to deal
Stop.
with?
Cut the.
Howard, we need an island.
We
I
need
need
a
to put
fucking
Gabe
island
on
right
that
now.
island.
Voicemail of Brandon Griffith. I apologize.
Dude, they're 3 hours ahead, bro.
I love
Bro,
you, Brandon.
it's midnight.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck you, Brandon. All right, we did that for all you guys on there.
That's
But
not
anyway,
nice.
it's midnight there.
That
He's
is not
sleeping.
nice.
He's got responsibilities.
Responsibilities.
So I started
That
surrounding
boy's
myself
in
with,
love.
and so
And I
how it
kinda
all
love
really
her
started
too.
was
Big time.
whenever I would hang out with
She's cute.
David and his girlfriend Alicia, and we'd go on a hike and we'd do something, they would always supply like the picnic, and they would have this food, and whenever it would always taste good. Now our friend, our brand ambassador David Larson is also a chef, so there would always be this really good food, and I would taste it and be, oh man, this is amazing. I was always getting my nutritional value. I'd feel full, but I would never feel overly full. Like, and a lot of you can compare or like can relate when you've had like a burrito, a burger, and fries, and you're sitting there and it tasted so good.
Full
and
AF.
then you just want to go to sleep right after. Can we all relate?
Full AF, sleep
Full AF.
AF.
Somewhat.
Totally relate.
Totally relate, right?
Yeah.
Well, eating like plant-based, and I'm gonna just call it plant-based, and it was nothing. I just removed the meat process. I never felt that. I felt full, but I felt energetic afterwards. And you just throw this is
She just threw, what is that? Cheese?
it's not the cheese challenge. It's not the cheese challenge.
Just literally throwing cheese at Howard for no reason whatsoever.
Oh, and
God,
crackers.
stop, Priscilla. I gotta clean. Somebody's gotta clean that up later.
Okay. Anyway, so basically, all I started doing was I started like replacing meals with more plant-based meals, and I started realizing like I felt really good afterwards. So, midst of that, I just said I'm gonna commit to like, you know what? I'm gonna only do plant-based for a little while. There's no reason. A lot of people that become vegetarian vegans.
I gotta put this on Instagram. Just do
Just put it on Instagram. A lot of people like
too late.
decide to do it. Like a lot of vegans. Hey, I've done a march now on Saturday. I did a animal rights march.
No,
And you
really?
made- I did. And he made a
Wait,
lot.
so are you
love the
embracing the whole
animals.
animal rights portion of this,
Well,
or are you just doing
here's now I'm
Because
gonna draw
I've-
this line. I'm gonna draw this line very, very clear for everyone.
Okay, I thought
very
you told me
clear.
it wasn't about animal rights. It was about you and your health.
I'm gonna draw this line very clear. I participated because the people that I was with, they support that. So I'm going to be there with them. Now, me switching the vegetarian, vegan, whatnot, I respect that. I don't like the mass production of these animals, but at the same time,
Priscilla is stroking.
I am a
Howard's
hunter.
beard. You're a hunter.
I believe. Hey, well, this year I will hunt an elk. will hunt my pheasant. I will do these things.
Wait. So you made the switch to not eat meat for health benefits, is what you told me, but yet you did an animal rights march, and you're gonna go fucking hunt an elk? What the shit,
Well,
dude?
because this all might seem confusing, but you have to understand. So, like,
It's very confusing,
it's
to
confusing
the rest
because
of the
I'm
world.
trying to surround myself.
What the shit?
I'm trying to surround myself with people that are also like-minded and not eating the meat
So
and everything.
wait, vegetarians and vegans that hunt elks? Is that what we're talking about?
Okay,
We're getting very geo-targeted.
We
wanna hear from you if you're
because a lot
an
of
elk eater
these
that is
activists,
vegan.
a lot of these activists are fighting for animal rights. Why?
Vegetarian.
Because they do not approve of mass
Are
production.
you and Howard holding hands?
We feel
They're
united.
very
We are totally holding
I'm
hands.
glad this is all a joke, guys.
is like
I'm trying to
a
prove
big
my
deal.
case
It's not
here.
a joke. We love this.
You're telling
You
me
elk
about
eater.
elk hunting as a vegetarian
you
and
animal
vegan.
lover elk
And I look
eater.
over and my wife's holding hands with Howard.
We for sure are holding hands.
We're connected.
No,
We're
this is
connected.
like a moment.
This is the
It's a
worst
moment.
podcast ever.
You know what, guys?
At the end of the day, it's gonna be fine.
I'm gonna say this.
Oh my gosh, no
I'm
more
gonna wrap
of
this. I'm gonna
this.
wrap this up for our listeners, so we can get back to the good stuff and the meat, the meat and potatoes, as Gabe would put it. So, here's the thing, guys, and I'm gonna draw this line very clear. So, me being a hunter, eating meat all the time, and just recently making this switch, I want you to understand that I'm making the switch purely on the nutritional base value level. Like that, I understand that my body is operating better when I eat plant based, and I like that, and I'm going with this. I'm new to it. I've only been doing this for strictly 2 weeks, maximum 4 weeks, just kind of loosely, but this is all new to me, and I'm learning new things, and I'm surrounding myself with people that do the same thing. A lot of them are vegans. A lot of them are very die hard. So I went to this march, right, and I got to meet a lot.
Very die hard.
So hard.
So hard, but I got to. I wanted to really embrace myself, and I got to meet a lot of really great people who are really passionate about their beliefs, and a lot of them were on the animal activist list, you know. And when I say that, I mean they were just really fighting for this. They want to stop the mass production of chickens, cows, etc., and all these things. And I can tell you right now, as a person who was eating tri-tips like 2 months ago, loving it, would never give up meat, I respect that, because I do not believe in the mass production of these animals. When you see these animals being put through the torture,
Cowschwitz.
and Cowschwitz.
Oh my god!
No. So Gabe's laughing at this, but no,
Legit.
no,
It's
Priscilla,
not cool.
That is dead on. And when you see this, and these people that claim that they're living in these whatever,
I
but I'm not-
drive
it's horrible.
back and forth on I-5 and I bless them. I'm
Hey,
like, I give you light energy because that's not
It's a very
cool.
controversial and very political topic, so we won't go there because that's not what
Exactly,
we're about.
not what we're
We're not
about.
about those
Thank
people.
you,
We're not
Howard.
about that. So we're going to cut
No.
it there. But all I'm saying is that growing up around hunters and people who do that, there is a line of respect. When these people go and hunt their meat, they hunt it and they use every bit of that animal, and they recycle and they either eat, they give it out. It's not about mass production, not putting the animal through torture. Hunters, and being a new hunter, I will say I respect them, because they're not about torturing or whatever. They're about getting the kill, making it clean, not making sure this animal is not suffering. They're doing to feed their own. They're not going and over hunting. They're doing enough to hunt and feed their family and loved ones for that purpose. So hunters, I have nothing against them. We can live in unison when it says that, because I'm not going to say I'm against them, because I'm again, guys, I'm a month into this new experience of mine. Okay, so
But when it happens, it happens. Because I was the same way a month in. I'm like, is this going to be forever? And Gabe's like, you're going to start eating meat again. I'm like, it's been a year and a half. I'm still not.
But my biggest, the biggest struggle with switching to a plant-based diet isn't switching to a plant-based diet and finding my protein source and my nutrients through plant-based nutrition. The most difficult part, get the fuck out of here with those eye rolling over
I
your
literally just felt all weird. I had like this strange.
the toughest part is really getting people to really accept.
I drive a Dodge Stratus. I'm fine.
All right, you're
I don't drive a Dodge
ridiculous.
Stratus. That was an old Will Ferrell.
The toughest part is not getting people to what was I saying, is not getting like accepting the new diet and finding like sources of nutrition. The toughest part is really getting people to understand or like accepting people's reaction to the fact that my new diet changed.
I think that might be an internal thing you're dealing with. Are people
I just
actually
didn't
giving
even
you?
tell people.
No, because the first thing
Are
I say
people
when
actually giving you reactions when you
no,
tell
for
them?
sure. When I tell people I'm plant based, they're like, "Oh yeah, so you're gonna go eat food with the things that we're gonna eat? Oh yeah, go have fun."
So
Like,
can I tell you
Oh, so they
what
actually
I
give
say?
you shit about
Yeah.
it.
May I please say what I say? So when we go to a restaurant, I make a joke out of it. And I'm like, oh, is that available without beaks or faces?
I know, because you don't like being labeled.
And people are like, what? No, I really don't like being labeled.
So you don't like being labeled a vegetarian.
I don't like being called plant-based, or I mean, plant-based feels most comfortable, but like I don't like being called a vegetarian. I hate that. Or vegan, I hate that. Like all of those things, they just don't resonate with me. And so when I say I don't eat things with beaks or faces, then it like personalizes it, and people start to understand, and then they laugh a little bit, and then suddenly it's hilarious.
Considerably More drunk than when we started this podcast, she is.
Oh, for sure.
Did anybody notice
That was like Body Spartan podcast plus Jedi.
The tongue is a little numb. All right, so Howie's basically gone plant-based. I have still been sticking to intermittent fasting, loosely intermittent fasting. It's hard for me because I've been told not to lift weights, and I'm focusing on motorcycle racing. I have all the excuses in the world.
May I just say that I've been
25 years of lifting weights and being dedicated to the gym. I'm actually kind of taking a turn. I'm probably in the worst shape I've ever been because my body fat's higher than I've ever been in my whole life.
says he looks amazing to me.
I mean, I don't think I look amazing, but
He looks
it's going to
small.
make one
He looks
hell of a
amazing to me.
transformation story when
Really
I do get
small.
cleared. R.I.P. Gaines. However,
R.I.P. Gaines.
However, for a dude that's only been riding motorcycles for 2 years, I'm fast as fuck. Well, when I say fat, compared to who, though? I don't know.
I've got so many trophies on my
when you're on
countertop.
1,000
Right,
cc's, I would hope that you'd be fast.
You want to know something really interesting? So I was at Button Willow.
Especially when a lot of these 120-pound guys are on 650s and
This
whatnot.
is going to be really embarrassing. So I was at Button Willow, and this was in the practice sessions before the races. I got smoked by a 16-year-old kid on a 300. So fucking Rocco. I swear, he's going to Moto too, dude. This kid belongs to Moto. He's on a 300, and he just fucking blew by. I was coming out of... the turns at Button Willow are not labeled like turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, whatever. They actually have names. So I'm coming out of this turn called Riverside, and he blows by me. I'm like, all right, kid, whatever. I'll get you on the straightaway. I'm on a fucking 1,000cc leader bike. I'm like, I'll smoke your ass. I can't catch him. I'm like, what? So we go into this big 180 turn called the AFM sweeper, and he just keeps pulling on me. I'm like, I'll get you on the straightaway. Well, there's a little straightaway. He pulled on me. And then I'm like, okay, I'll get you on the big straightaway by start finish. Dude, I had the fucking R1 pinned. Like, full throttle fucking pinned. And this kid on a 300 just walked away from me. 15-year-old fucking kid. That's humbling as fuck. On a 300cc bike. Humbling as fuck. My nuts, literally, it took me 2 days to find my nuts. They crawled up inside of my fucking stomach. I had to get in there with pliers and pull them out. That's what happened to me.
He
like,
also
no.
He also weighed probably about 80 pounds.
That is true. That is totally true.
You
200 I'm still 235 pounds.
You have a 1 liter. You have 1,000cc. But the only reason that it seems crazy, oh my god, but you only had 3 and he beat you, is because you also weigh 5 fucking times his weight.
He didn't just beat me, he smoked me, dude. Like, anyway, so all that being said, I'm sticking generally loosely to intermittent fasting, and I'm kind of, I'm maintaining for a guy that's not in the gym for the best of my abilities. I would say by far, let's talk about our favorite nutrition. If you guys are going to look to get shredded for summer, I highly recommend 2 options. And of course, we're talking about nutrition. First, you want to look at either intermittent fasting or you want to look at keto. Those are the 2 fastest ways to get shredded. Now, Howie's currently kind of in a bulking phase. Personally, he's still super lean.
You call me fat?
I was calling you fluffy.
You just call me fat.
Yo, bro.
You just call me fat? I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, but you're still super swole. So Howie's looking swole as fuck. He's in a bulking phase. So what I'm saying is that, you're not necessarily watching your macros.
No, no, not at all. I'm honestly eating as much as I fucking can because being plant-based, guys, like, it's amazing. I get to eat all the carbs in the fucking world.
Well, and that's where our keto programs come from, because we don't count green vegetables when we have you do our keto diets, because there's this fallacy in the food, and I guess you call it consumer packaged goods when it comes to retail foods. This whole thing with net and total carbs. I swear the food industry made up net carbs so that you could feel better about the shit that you were eating. I've said this many times. God damn it, Howard's just doing the fucking Macarena over here for Instagram. You're killing me. You know what? At the end of the day, I'm gonna finish this fucking podcast. Drink at the end of the day. 1, 2, 3, go.
What do you?
No, but Gabe, you're on a good point. Talk about the programs and going in like summer, all these different things, and our favorite programs. Go, keep going.
I was talking about consumer packaged goods and total carbs versus net carbs. Everybody always asks me. They say, Gabe, are we talking total carbs or net carbs? I'm talking total carbs for any keto diet that we're doing. We don't count green God damn it, I'm drunk. We don't count green vegetables, and we count total carbs. But green vegetables are the exception. There's a mosquito flying around here.
And what Hey, when I did keto, I always tell
This
people.
is useless. I'm so drunk.
Well, he's useless. Wow,
I am useless.
He cannot handle
I'll tell
his
you where I'm
liquor.
not useless in 20 minutes when I head into the bedroom with Priscilla. I'll
Oh
show you how
my God,
useless I am.
guys, this
We
is
just
ridiculous.
no icing this
Howard's
right now?
still in the fucking room.
Damn it. Here, Howie, send me your glass, dude. I got to fill this up for you. So we've talked about my nutrition. We've talked about Howie's nutrition.
This is
Generally,
your
guys, if you
fault.
want to get shredded by summer, you've got 80 days to do it. Intermittent fasting. We highly recommend a 16-8. So 16 fasted. So you can pick any hour during the day or any block of hours during the day that's 16 hours. So you can sleep for 8, whatever, fast for 8 more, and then you have an 8-hour eating window. And that's what we do with Savage.
And
we
that's very important.
It's incredibly important. 'cause
8 hours. We don't mean, hey, you fucking sleep 14 hours, you eat one. Oh, I'm gonna have like 50 calories, 100. I don't give a fuck. Not 1 calorie, maybe. I don't know.
Well, the only thing that we tell them they can have on Savage Shred is black coffee and water. Those are the two
you might
things
get
that
some
are
calories
acceptable.
from that, but the point is, no solid, no food, no like caloric
Basically,
intake
anything
from-
that has a calorie in it, you should avoid ingesting. Aside from black
for 16
coffee.
hours.
It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. And here's what happens. At the 16-hour mark, you encounter what's called cell autophagy. So your cells die in your body, and they are regenerated. So you get full organ regeneration. You encounter that 5x growth hormone spike for guys and for girls, and you have all the benefits. Literally, your waist begins to shrink. Not just because you're losing weight and body fat, but it's just one of the benefits of intermittent fasting. You start losing. Where are all these fucking mosquitoes coming
Whoa.
from? What the fuck? Do you see those?
So let me. Okay, so Gabe will
Jesus,
give you.
is
Gabe
there-
will try to
Oh,
give
the
you.
doors open downstairs for the dogs. The dog get out.
Okay, so Gabe's gonna give you like the scientific jumbo mumbo whatever. Now let me give you the real world fitness, like a guy who doesn't have a nutritional
Wait,
background.
are we talking about intermittent fasting, or what are we talking about?
We're talking about what you're saying.
That would be intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting. So we're breaking it down for you guys, like someone who, like me, who would take this diet, who doesn't necessarily. Hold on.
I'm pointing to the notes for Howard, so
He's pointing to notes. He wants to look at notes. But like a person who doesn't necessarily look into like everything and the cellular repair, apparently, where the body induces important cellular repair processes such as removing waste and material from cells.
Fully expose the notes that I have here
You
for
know,
all of
guys,
us to
guys,
read,
I'm
so we
not
can
gonna- because-
sound smart, and Howard just basically
Because
reads
here's the
directly
thing,
from
Howard,
them.
you all
Good
know.
job. Your favorite
You
ginger.
all know your favorite ginger is going to give you the realest, the real. So,
Why
you
do I drink on my own when,
when
we're not
you're
saying
doing
at the end of the day?
intermittent fasting? Here's the thing, guys:
Said at the
go
end of the day.
16 hours without eating. The bottom line is you only have an 8-hour window of fucking eating, and that's
Did you
the toughest
just say
part.
at the end of the day?
I did.
He said,
Drink.
"Let's all drink."
Drink. 3, 2, 1. That means you 2P. Are you Facebook living or Instagram living?
No, you better show them because they're gonna want to hear my take on this.
Yes,
So
please tell
here's
me.
the thing: intermittent fasting, guys. It's fucking very simple. There's no black and
Yeah.
white. Gabe will give you some terms and everything that might like blow your fucking vocabulary out of the water. But here's what it really comes down to: you go 16 hours. There's 24 fucking hours in a day. Okay, you take 16 of those hours and you don't fucking eat during those hours. All right. And then you take those 8 hours that you do eat whenever you choose you want. It's 8 consecutive hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
This is
All
getting
right.
progressively more difficult as we
No.
get more
It's
drunk.
very simple. I want to make it really easy for our listeners. Those 8 hours, you can consume your caloric intake. That doesn't mean eat whatever you want. You still have a caloric intake set. But what that does is now your body has gone so long without food, it's looking for an energy source. So the point in intermittent fasting is now your body's like, okay, you're active through some of these hours. I need an energy source. So it's going to start going into your deposits. It's going to start
Howard,
going into
eat
your...
the mic.
It's going to start going in... It's going to start going into your reserves.
Howard just literally tried to deep throat.
It's going to go into your reserves. It's going to pull those out. And that's what makes intermittent fasting work. It uses the fat and the carbs that are stored in your fat or carb storage and uses those
Carburies.
for energy. So those don't go in sources. It doesn't go into fat cells. It doesn't make you bigger. So then those 8 hours. But here's the thing. Here's where a lot of people drop the ball. They either start late in that 8 hours and they're like, you know what? Oh, I can have a meal. No, you cut that 8 hours. So if your 8 hours ends at 7 o'clock or 7 p.m., that doesn't mean, oh, you know what? I'm going to have something at 7:20, 7:15, even 7:10. No, at 7 o'clock, that means you don't eat. I don't care if you get hungry. You don't go to bed until 10 o'clock. That's 3 hours. You should have thought about that when you planned your fucking 8-hour window. That's really what it comes down to. And I don't mean to like be really strict, but guys, you have to understand when people design programs, and the only reason these programs work, and they were proven not by us, by other people, whatever, by other people that tried the program, they only work because they stuck to the program. And I cannot express this enough. It doesn't matter what program you do. If you stick to the program, you will see some kind of result. And what we're telling you is if you stick to the intermittent program of 16 hours not eating and 8 hours of eating, you will see progress, and you will see and feel your body physiologically change to adapt to that diet. Physiologically. Gabe's going to mock me because I've had a couple drinks. Big whoop. You understand the point. What I'm saying is you eat within that 8 hours, and that 16 hours, your body, you will be awake and active half that time. We'll utilize that and use whatever storage you have and get rid of those fat storages you have, and you will, in return, lose weight. That's what or how intermittent fasting works.
Touche, amigo. Touche. Other benefits of intermittent fasting. There was a 2014 review of the scientific literature basically surrounding all of the intermittent fasting studies that basically said a weight loss of 3 to 8% over 3 to 24 weeks occurred during short-term fasting, so 16 hours. We were talking about autophagy with cells, cell autophagy. That's when your cells die and they're forced to regenerate. So you get full regeneration of your organs, which is a really positive benefit. We talked about the 5 times increase of growth hormone. Important cellular repair processes. Also, too, guys, when we fast, the cells in the body initiate what's called cellular waste removal processes. Now, it's basically cell autophagy, like we talked about. They basically break down and they are metabolized and broken down into dysfunctional proteins that build up inside the cells over time. All that saying, intermittent fasting is really good for you. That's really what I'm getting at. So next, so we've talked about nutrition. Let's just fucking cut it at nutrition, dude, because we're all fucking drunk here, right? Okay.
What
so that's
about
the way
dry fasting? Because you never asked me what I'm into.
What the fuck is dry fasting? Is that
Oh
like
my
dry
God!
fucking?
So let's hear about dry fasting.
So dry fasting
literally
is
spun
my...
around. Hang on, P. Howard literally spun around in the chair and did like a flyby on the microphone. Like,
I
do it
love
again.
it.
Do it again.
I was like, let's hear
He
about
doesn't kick
fasting.
me like Brandon kicks me. Brandon kicks me
I
around in
miss Brandon.
circles.
Honestly, we called him and we said, fuck you,
I
Brandon.
love
but I
him.
really miss Brandon.
No, I miss him too.
Brandon met Madison House last year, a.k.a. Matt House.
AKA Madison House Griffith.
Yes, and they are now, he's in the process of denouncing his USA citizenship. He moved to Canada.
Fucking traitor.
Fucking straight treason.
Off with his head.
At the end of the day, it's treason. Drink, everybody.
Okay. That's a problem.
But I'm proud of him. He's a young buck. He met a wonderful woman. Madison is really cool.
She's like amazing.
She's the right girl for him.
Amazing to the legit.
They are married on
amazing.
paper. Howie's going to go take a piss right now. They're married on paper for tax purposes so that Brandon get his citizenship, and the wedding is in November. So I'm really proud of him. I don't think
Actually,
there is
not due to the paper. Like, he loves that girl, and she is amazing. I love that girl. I would marry that girl.
Really?
Easily. Yes.
Would you film it?
Marrying her? Yeah.
I mean, like the wedding night kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Would you consummate that marriage?
Yes.
Totally.
She's adorable.
Have you ever done anything like that before?
I mean, maybe no, but like maybe I would.
Would you for Madhouse?
Yes.
It's going to get kind of weird. Like,
Yeah.
kind of like.
That'd be fine.
So it'd be like
She is one of those
Kinda like a
girls.
non-binary
she's
relationship,
like
is that
one
what you
of
call that?
those once in a lifetime kind of girls. Like, she's really.
You know what was really
special.
cool? I remember when
She's
at one
special.
point Brandon sent me Madison's number for like when he was down here or something in case I needed to get a hold of her or something like that. I don't remember why Brandon sent me Madison's number, but it literally in Brandon's phone, it didn't say Madison House. It said my person, and there was a unicorn like emoji next to it. That's how much he loves her. It doesn't say her name. It says my person, and it's got a unicorn next to it. We're talking about what Brandon had in Madison. Brandon had in his phone under contacts. That's how much he loves that girl. So, congratulations, Brandon. You're officially married on paper. We will be there in November to celebrate the wedding in Canada.
Which is crazy because, like, in my phone, Brandon has the poop emoji, the eggplant emoji.
For your name? Oh, for his name in your
For
phone?
his name, it's big B with a plant emoji, little turd emoji.
Mine just says Brandon, fuck you, Griffith, with a bunch of middle fingers alongside of it. That's how I refer to him. But he is my baby brother, so. All right, let's talk about the next thing. So, 80 days till summer, you got to get your nutrition under control. The fastest way to do that is to get on the All Access Pass. Pick one of our shredding programs, whether it's keto, whether it's intermittent fasting, totally up to you. Forge 5 comes out in May. You got a month to get ready. If you're trying to get in shape before then, Ignite, our 28-day reboot, is the way to go. That'll get you there. Then you can start on Forge. Working out, it's ridiculously fucking obvious. You have to have nutrition. You have to fucking work out. But what kind of workouts do you want to do if you're trying to get shredded? Do you strength train? Not really. If you're doing low reps, I mean, there's a time and a place for strength training. If you're going to do a week or two of it, that's fine. We're working two totally different types of muscle fibers here. We're working type 1 and type 2. With strength training, we are working our fast twitch muscle fibers, and we want to limit the amount of that we're doing. We're not trying to build strength. We're trying to work on our aesthetics. And that comes from working... What the hell's going on in there?
I don't know. Let's keep going.
Priscilla's not even in the room anymore. So limit the strength training, guys. This is not the time for your 1 rep max. This is time to ditch the fucking ego. Leave your ego at the door. Did I say ego? Ego. Fuck, there's so much Johnnie Walker in my system right now. Leave your ego at the door. And the other thing you want to do too, guys, is lower your rest time. So we're looking at ways to completely fatigue every muscle fiber. We want to bring in a little bit of cardiovascular training while you're doing your weight training. And we want to basically do what we kind of did in Genesis. We did mass training and endurance training. Savage Shred, same way, really low rest times, high volume, high intensity. So kick up your reps, start doing supersets, trisets, and giant sets.
What we're saying, guys, is in between your sets, you should be gasping for air. All right, because we're making our workouts
so fucked up right now.
We are making your workout. No. But this is aside from that. You're making your workout like a cardiovascular. You're getting your cardio within your workout. If you're not sweating, if you're not gasping for air between your sets, you either taking too much time talking, texting, whatever you may be doing on your phone, or you're just not like giving yourself a short enough rest in between your sets.
All right, you know what? Fuck this. Just fuck this like note thing that we're doing. Howard, ask me anything.
Ask you anything.
Ask me. Just fuck this. Fuck this whole like we're doing notes because obviously this podcast is shit. I can't formulate a fucking sentence. Ask me.
Yeah,
anything.
you can't formulate a sentence now because you can't handle your liquor.
Bro, casino night. Which you weren't even there for.
He could not handle his liquor.
I did. On casino night, I
Could not handle his liquor.
I totally handled my
Could
liquor.
not handle his liquor.
I put every female to fucking bed and gave them garbage bags to throw up.
Oh my god, he's like, AK, I passed out 10 minutes into being at the casino and I had a crazy
We never made it
dream.
in the casino. You weren't there. You weren't there.
I wasn't there.
John Foster was there. That's how long ago this was.
Oh my goodness, that was a long time ago. But what we're saying, guys,
ask me anything, Howard.
Ask you anything.
What is more entertaining, talking about fucking getting shredded or asking me anything? I've had a really interesting life.
You have had an
You've
interesting
had some
life.
very interesting recent experiences too. I might have to ask you about.
I don't know what he's talking about.
But if you don't ask me anything, I'm gonna ask you some shit.
All right, is this our truth? Like the truth's come
It's
out?
like truth or dare kind of deal.
All right, Gabe. My first question to you would be, when we're talking about truth.
Oh God, I just drank again. I didn't need to. This is what I do.
Where will you be on the first day of summer in terms of fitness?
That all depends on what happens on April 10th when I go to Stanford and see the nation's best surgeon for aortic aneurysms. If I'm cleared to work out, I will be back in the gym. So what we're talking about, so it's June 21st is the first day of summer. We're exactly 80 days away. It is now April
80
2nd.
days. And how long do our programs normally go?
10 to 12 weeks.
10 to 12 weeks.
So that's
there's 7 days,
84-ish
70,
days.
84. And you just said there's 80 days till summer?
So literally, I could hop on
what Gabe is saying is if you buy a fucking program right now,
or get the all access
and
pass.
or get the all access fucking pass, and you commit. And when we say do you commit, like I mean, you buy a program, it doesn't mean you're automatically going to be shredded. It does. I don't give a fuck if you bought a $1 program, a fucking $1 million program. It doesn't matter if you do not apply effort. Nothing will happen.
You have to put in the
what
work,
Gabe
guys.
is saying is that if you buy one of our programs right now and you commit to yourself and the program, by summertime, you will have results. You might not be at the goal that you want.
True.
Because we're going to say that we'll be the first ones to say that. We're not going to tell you you're going from 300 pounds to 140 pounds, lean, mean, fucking fat burning machine, but you're going to be a big, not small, but a big step in the right direction.
All right, well, here's what I will commit to. If I get cleared to go back to the gym and lift weights, say I do not need surgery in the very perceived near future, and the surgeon says, yeah, you can go lift weights, I will commit to doing the Forge 5 program and showing everybody on camera my progress right up to the first day of summer.
That's
and I
weird.
will take my shirt off. I have the most body fat I've ever had my entire life. I'm probably running about 11 or 12% body fat, which is, to me, it's embarrassing. Like, I've never been that heavy in my life.
That's sad.
I know a lot of you guys are like, you Gabe, that's crazy. I'm at 20%, 30%, whatever. Like, but for me, I've been that skinny kid that's never had to worry about that. And it's a mind fuck, to be honest, man. And like, I won't take my shirt off around anybody right now. It's hard. It's very difficult.
No, and I can relate.
It's not like I'm porking on brownies every week or something. I'm really not watching what I'm eating, I'll be honest. Howard.
No, but like
Howard.
No, to that
My
point. Okay, well, he's gonna ask me a question. I'm sorry ahead of time.
Did you or did you not engage in sexual activity with multiple females recently that were a lot older than you?
I hate you so much, Gabe. That's
You have to be the rules, bro. The
Well, this
rules.
is gonna be completely 110% honest, but you're a fucking piece of shit.
I am a piece of shit. I know.
So what we're gonna say, because I know what Gabe is going at. So it's not anywhere near recent. You fucking cock fuck. But
At the end of the day,
But at the end of the day,
happened.
cheers, listen.
Cheers.
no. So but at the end of the day,
I'm going to stop taking shots and start taking trifecta.
Oh, we'll talk about
there
trifecta.
was a
nutrition.
situation.
We just so you know, P, we sidebarred. I said, "Fuck the notes."
I know.
What is
I
the
know.
most entertaining thing we could do right now? And it's basically
There
Ask Me
was a
Anything.
situation where your favorite ginger had to entertain two mature females.
simultaneously.
Wait,
at
who
the
was the
same
other
time.
one?
What do you
Was-
mean?
This is really weird.
This is recent.
Oh my God.
This is a single life.
Oh, this is weird.
Go on.
I'm just kidding.
Priscilla's like,
I'm
"Go
just as
on,
lost,
I'll be
but go
rubbing
with
my
it.
nipples."
And it was a mission success. Let's just say it was one small step for man, one giant leap for Howie.
Do we have an idea of ages compared to you? So you're 27, right? Dude?
28.
You're 28
at
now?
the,
Really?
At the time, was I 20? Yeah, I was 28 at the time. Just kidding.
So are they 12 years older than you? Are they 10? They're 40 plus,
So I'm
right?
28. They were probably about, for the sake of them and me getting slapped later in my life, we'll say early 40s.
Early. Yeah, so they're cougars, babe. Pumas. We call them pumas.
Well, they have kids, so the kids still can be considered
Cougars are like
males.
50 and up. Pumas are like 35, 45.
Okay, they're
So they're
pumas.
pumas.
They were pumas.
They're pumas.
And
but P, if you had to be labeled as something, I call you Puma.
Oh my
Priscilla would
gosh, you're
definitely
going
be
to call me a puma?
You're a
You're
puma.
totally
You're
a puma.
for sure a puma.
Or you just call me a mama that satisfies your every dream.
But
too.
no, yeah, it was a great experience. I will tell you that it was the first of that experience, and I think I performed very well. Thank you very much. You know, I did my best. At the end of the day, I felt like
Whoa, what?
oh, God damn.
Oh, at the end of the day, shit.
I mean,
Are you done with number 3 yet, or what? Are you at the bottom? Oh God, fuck, Howard, I got a mess.
is all you
They gotta work from home.
all
That's
you
what he
all
does.
you
He goes
Pornhub
at the end
all
of
you
the day.
Pornhub guys with us. I pulled a
Pornhub guys.
I pulled a Johnny Sims.
Who the fuck is Johnny Sims? I'm so out of
He's
the loop.
like the king of fucking Pornhub.
I feel like he was a WWE guy.
I mean, it could be that a WWE guy had a fucking badongadonk.
Johnny Sims,
I mean,
like,
I don't have a badongadonk, but I put it to him really.
failed at
You know, we just use what we
WWE,
got,
goes
bro.
to porn. Like,
Okay, so that was an AMA for Howard. So he successfully he satisfied 2 MILFs, 2 Pumas, basically. It was
did.
a very cool experience. What do we got for P? We got to do an AMA for P. I'm gonna be totally honest with her. P, is it true that you may or may not be a bit of a voyeur?
But before she answers,
maybe more
what is
like
a
an
voyeur?
exhibitionist.
You
A
need-
voyeur is one that watches. An exhibitionist will be one that likes to be watched.
Oh, so what you're saying, what you're asking, Priscilla, was there a time where you liked to be watched?
Stop it. Wait.
Was there a time when we may or may not have snuck out in the front yard?
Stop it, Gabe.
Well, we have to be totally honest.
Okay, we did.
Well, so are you more of an
There's that
exhibitionist?
tree.
There's the tree in the front yard.
Howie's like rubbing my foot
You're-
that way.
You're
No.
rubbing his foot.
I am rubbing his
You're
foot
like that nervous.
way.
It's like a nervous twitch.
That's what I said when you asked me questions.
That one
rubbing your
day, you and Caitlin, you guys left.
Wait, what?
You and Caitlin, you guys
Who?
left.
Who?
I mean, I still love her so much.
No, if we're posting this,
Okay.
I still love this. I love her. What?
Yeah.
I know. Just stop
We
it.
all
Just
love
stop it.
Caitlin.
Okay,
There's,
we're
you know,
all stopping that right now.
Good energy to Caitlin. 1, 2, 3.
Good energy to Caitlin, and I texted you never text me back, and I didn't respond. What?
I wanted that girl
So here's how the story
bad
goes.
for
I was
you.
feeling kind of exhibition-y, and so was Priscilla, and so.
And then Howie boy and Caitlin boo.
Okay, so she's too drunk to talk,
I
so I will
want that
talk
girl.
for her.
No, but
There was an exhibition night where I just like, hey, let's go on the front doorstep.
And so
let's
we did it.
No, actually, well, let's start in the back. Like, this is a good.
Oh, yeah,
let's go on
we're
the front
doing
doorstep.
things.
You'll like this, Howard. Something. Let's go to the front
We're
doorstep.
doing this?
So
Were you
we're
doing
kind of
this?
You're
banging
helping.
on the front doorstep. Stop.
You are
Look at the
doing
feet, dude.
things.
Priscilla's got her foot on top of Howie's foot, and she's just like
Howie is
nervous, twitching back and forth.
She's like, stop moving your foot.
She's so
Stop
fucking
giving
wasted.
in.
And so I'm like, hey, let's go on the front doorstep. So I turn the lights off in the house, and then I turn the lights off on the front doorstep.
It's the upper and the thigh.
Priscilla's on Howie's like leg now. under her head, like, what's
he's
going on
doing
here?
Let's go from a podcast to a
So,
porno
yeah,
really
this was
quick.
really good. This is what happens when I have too much fucking alcohol.
Mutual
and so then I go, hey,
appreciation.
hey, let's go to the tree. We have a tree in our front yard.
A
One
big
single
tree,
tree.
a
We're on a
big
corner
thick tree
lot.
that is like the
And
exact shape
So
of
Priscilla and I
Gabe's.
may have been doing stuff by the tree, and every time a car would come by, I'm like, well, just hold still. They can't see it. So we were like crouched down behind. And I mean, honestly, the tree couldn't be more than like, what, 2 feet thick, maybe at the root.
No, it's way
You know,
bigger
the tree in our
than
front yard
that.
is
I
not
feel
that
like
big.
it's
It's
way
like a tiny
bigger
little
than
tree.
that. Let's measure
That's
it.
2 feet thick's tiny, Gabe. Yeah, it's
Totally tiny. I mean, well, it doesn't cover me and it doesn't cover Priscilla, so I'm just like, shh, hold still.
did not cover.
And so I go. So we were out there for a while, and then we just got this weird feeling that we should go back inside. We went back inside. I'm like, hey, let's go out in the garage. We'll open the garage, keep the lights off, and I will do things to you on the motorcycle. Because the motorcycle is parked like kind of, at the edge of the garage. So we're kind of doing things on the motorcycle. And then across the intersection from us, we got a 4-way, it's not a 4-way stop, it's a 4-way intersection in a residential area. We see a spotlight from a car. And we realize it's a cop. So somebody called the cops because 2 fucking people were
Yeah,
banging
because
by the tree in the
they
front
probably
yard.
thought 2 homeless
God
people
damn,
were
you
fucking.
spilled the trifecta all over your fucking...
Because
why
they
we can't
probably
have nice
thought, like,
things.
hey, 2 homeless people are fucking on my
why
front
we
yard.
cannot have
So I
nice
see
things.
the spotlight
how we always
shine
say.
on our tree. Like the dude was literally looking for us. I'm like, Priscilla goes, "Oh my god, Gabe, there's a spotlight on the tree." I look over and this cop is literally in the intersection, shining in our tree, looking in our front yard.
And my first reaction is like, cop shines the light. All of a sudden, he sees Priscilla looked up, deer in the headlights, tits hanging out. Gabe right behind her. Also, that stereotypical Gabe jaw drop.
But we're in the garage, and the garage door is open with the lights off. So we like kind of freak out and slowly sneak inside. And just
Why
like,
is he
do not touch the
weird?
garage door.
Oh,
I
so
shut the garage door. I'm like, what the fuck he's gonna do? He's not gonna do anything. And then we, like 2 little kids, we hovered at the kitchen sink window and like looked out the blinds for 5 minutes watching him with the spot.
Oh my gosh, as you were fucking me.
Whoa!
Oh my god,
We're trying to keep it PG
Hey,
here.
We're not trying to be here.
This
There's a lot of dirty shit going
this is where editing happens.
We
Because
should not
this is
post-
going
we're not
from
posting
this is going
this.
from
It's getting posted.
body smart
We are
fitness.
not
That is
posting
the
this.
other rule of the podcast. Well, okay, the
We
first rules
never
are that we have
post
to be
this.
totally honest. We have to answer in full transparency. And 3, no matter what, we fucking post it. End of story.
No,
That's what happens.
But like,
Fuck.
how many
You are
of these?
so blitzed right now.
But how many of these have not posted?
Oh, at the end
At
of the
the end of the
day.
day, we're gonna have another drink. Cheers, motherfuckers. What do you don't even have any alcohol. Drink.
Gabriel.
Okay, so just so you guys know, we have teamed with a company called Trifecta Nutrition. They have replaced nutrition solutions for
Oh my
reasons
god,
that I will leave
here comes an appropriate plug
Trifecta.
in.
All
with us,
over me.
and we have their vegetarian meal. They're awesome. They do keto,
My
they
crotch.
do regular lifestyle, they do vegan and vegetarian. And Priscilla just happened to spill one of the really don't push on that. The whole podcast table will fall over.
I built that podcast.
I know you did, but there was Johnnie Walker all over this table in glasses.
not-
Don't
do
do
not
that.
wish Johnnie Walker.
Priscilla
Push
brought
me
in one
by
of
my
these
hand.
super yummy trifecta vegetarian meals
Howard
and
gets
just
it.
happened to
I
turn
get
it
it,
upside
Gabe.
down on her crotch.
get it.
So now in the middle of okay, here's what I'm gonna do, guys. Make sure you are looking at the Body Spartan story on Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, it's at Body Spartan. Wait, stay there for a second. I need to get the Body Spartan. Hang on.
She's getting the quinoa
No,
for crotch.
just hang on. I gotta do it. I think we have this really shitty chair that she's sitting in right now. Okay, can I flip this around? How do I flip this around? Okay,
Shitty meaning how
so
much did we pay for this?
This is the
chair?
trifecta meal, the really yummy trifecta meal that Priscilla has spilled all over her crotch area. That's disgusting.
We are
So,
podcasting right now.
we're totally podcasting. Brought to you by Johnnie Walker. It's just this is what happens when we have too much alcohol here on Body Spartan on the podcast. This is either the best or the worst podcast we've ever done. Trifecta Nutrition
We're not
/
posting this.
Body Spartan. Use the promo code Spartan20 for 20% off. Get their a la carte meal. It's pretty fucking awesome. You can pick and choose what you want. And in about a week, we'll have our macro calculator up on Trifecta Nutrition / Body Spartan because they have been cool enough to help us customize your macros. So whatever your macros are for our programs, you can get Trifecta Nutrition, and it can match that on the a la carte menu as cheap as $5 to $6 a meal. Believe it, motherfuckers. Somebody else talk because I need to post this to. I need to tag everybody in it. Howard, go ahead and say something. You want to do an Ask Me Anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna do an Ask Me Anything, Gabe. Yeah, I'm gonna do an Ask Me Anything, Gabe.
All right, I'm all ears. He's literally on the ground right now. I don't know what's going on. She's on the ground.
I'm gonna do it.
We're gonna fucking regret this.
Yeah.
So many
So-
regrets.
You know, we'll keep it fun in the sexual fucking line of thing. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna keep it in fitness things. Okay. So, Gabe, what have you been doing to stay on top of your cardio? Nothing.
Honest, like
No, that's an honest answer. That's all
I
we
have
have.
I've been told. So the cardiologist, the best surgeon in the
got
nation for aortic aneurysms, has told me not to lift the weights. As long as I'm breathing through something, I'm okay, and which basically involves motorcycle racing. So everything I'm doing right now, I've been super busy. I just haven't dedicated any time to cardio. I'll be dead fucking honest. I'm scared, man. I'm scared that if I go do sprints, my blood pressure will get too high. I'm scared that if I do cardio, my blood pressure will get too high. I'm like, honestly, man, some of my measurements are 51 millimeters in diameter, and 54 is the point where it bursts. So God damn it, Priscilla is crawling on the ground.
No. But
You're on the ground.
You know
right
what?
now.
No, Gabe,
What
Gabe,
are you
Gabe.
doing?
I am cleaning.
For our
give you
listeners,
something
let
to
me piggyback off you a little bit.
Ow, that hurts. Ow.
I'm going to piggyback off Gabe a little bit. So the big thing is that Gabe is afraid.
I'm honestly very fearful.
And our podcast is be honest and no matter what. And Gabe was, and he's afraid because he has health conditions that really inhibit him from really training to his true potential, what he feels like his true potential really is. And the point is, guys, is like we all have things or variables or obstacles that are really limiting us. And at the end of the day, you don't want. Oh, I said end of the day.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, we gotta drink.
Well, hang on. I gotta pour you some.
So while they're pouring my drink, I'm gonna really prove my point to you guys because I owe this. I owe this to everyone. So Gabe has a lot of things, and it's really stopping him, and that's one of the hardest things for him is to really stop this. You guys need to understand. Gabe has literally lived the last 25 years of his life lifting weights, and for the first time in his life, he's been told he cannot lift weights or else he could die.
Yeah, it's scary.
Now, you all have to understand.
If you're dying.
You all have to understand, a person in my eyes, I've known Gabe. So Gabe is one of the main reasons why I got sober originally and I got into fitness the way I did.
Oh, we're going to tell some honest heart-to-heart stuff.
No, we're telling some heart-to-heart stuff.
Honest heart-to-heart.
No, I'm going to tell heart-to-heart, Priscilla. I'm really intense.
The only reason this podcast is amazing.
I'm going to be intense later, too. Well, I'm just kidding. No, that was a joke. It was a joke, guys. Stop. But I'm going to be intense in this because... No, Gabe is one of the reasons why I stopped at the time that I did when I was at the deepest point in my addiction and I got sober at that time. And I decided I needed to get clean. But the fact of the matter is, like, this is a person that when he rescued, and I'm going to say this, rescued me. He wasn't intentionally doing it, but when he rescued me, he did not know that's what he was doing at the time. That... I needed something. This is a person that was like, well, fitness is all about life. When I would see him at the gym, he would be squatting crazy amount of weight. I would see this dreaded guy come in and this fucking monster bench press, squat, no matter what it was. And I saw him lifting in a group and I was like, I need to be part of this. I need to change my life. This is the only person I knew, was a person that knew lifting weights, a lot of heavy weights at the time. So to see this man, all I know, the guy that saved my life, the guy that lifts weights for a fucking daily fucking routine for his life, for something that started what we know as body Spartan. He was lifting weights, not be able to do what started his company, what started his life. It's very heartbreaking, guys. It's very tough to see this guy do this. You need to understand that watching a man who literally built his life on fitness, not be able to do something fitness inclined.
Howard,
specifically.
you're seriously about to make me cry.
It's one of the hardest things. But here's where the highlight, here's where the silver lining is in the story, guys. Fitness isn't just about lifting weights. Gabe might have started his fitness journey in lifting weights. He might have been doing all this. He might have started body Spartan off of lifting weights. It all seemed like that. We got all the comments. Oh, you meatheads, you big ass bodybuilders, you steroid using motherfuckers, blah, blah, blah. All this fucking hatred, positive feedback. There was a lot of things. But at the end of the day, Gabe had this goal, this dream.
You said at the end of the day.
I will drink this. No, I will proudly drink this. At the end of the fucking day, Gabe said that this was part of my life. This is something that I was passionate about. And because he couldn't lift weights didn't mean that fitness was out of his life. He said, how can I direct my life? My doctors are telling me that if I continue to lift weights in the way I was, at the rate that I was, that I could die. That my daughter would grow up without a fucking father. My wife would then grow old without a husband. But instead, he decided, you know what? There's values to me that are more important than lifting weights, but fitness is something that's important in my life. And he chose to take on racing. And I know a lot of people are like, well, what does that have to do with fitness? Look at the guys that are on the bikes. They're not overweight people. They're not undernourished people. These are people that do focus on their weight, that do focus on their diet to some point, because it all comes down to a science. Your weight, the rate ratio, it takes a little bit more. But the same things that Gabe applied to weightlifting, okay, I need to eat certain amount of calories to get certain amount of weight, is the same thing he applied to racing. I need to lose certain amount of weight. I need to be at this weight to control my bike at this many cc's at this rate. At the end of the day, and I will drink to that.
Damn it,
I'm going to drink that. I'm going to drink that.
I'm borderline tearful right now.
Well, be tearful. At the end of the day,
Both of us are
the number
fucking
one thing that's
tearful.
driven Gabriel Tuft. Gabriel Allen Tuft?
I know I'm in trouble when using my full name.
Gabriel Allen Tuft.
Thanks, Mom.
Howard.
The number one thing that he applied that
HB3.
started the business Body Smart, that started everything that he's ever applied himself to was dedication. And being true to yourself in fitness, because no matter what you do, you need to be fit for whatever task you take on. It doesn't matter if it's powerlift, it doesn't matter if it's racing, it doesn't matter what the fuck you're doing. You need to be fit for that job. And Gabe redirected himself because he was told I had to limit myself. But it wasn't about weightlifting that made Gabe. That wasn't what attracted me to him, that made me who I am. It was that his passion for fitness, for passion for making himself the best that he can be, is what attracted me to him. And so you all need to understand that it doesn't matter what endeavor faces you, no matter what you're chasing, fitness will apply to you in some way or another. So you need to understand that, guys. Just because you can't lift the heaviest weight in the world doesn't mean you need to write yourself off. Doesn't mean that you're worthless. Doesn't mean you're less than the guy that's bench pressing 500 pounds. No, that's not what it means. It means that you're pushing yourself to your true potential. Even if your potential is limited, you're going to push those limits. And that's what makes us, and that's what separates us from the rest, guys, is that we are always going to push ourselves past that limit slightly. Even if we're limited by a doctor, a person that took 8 years to get their fucking degree and says, guess what? If you do this, you will die. Well, guess what? I will push it up to that limit until just before I die, and then maybe 1 or 2 more, just to push myself and know that I'm that strong. That's what makes us who we are. And that's what we have to offer to you guys. And that's all I have to say is, like, at the end of the day,
At the end of the day.
and I did that
cheers,
intentionally
bitches.
because I wanted to cheers my family.
We love you, buddy.
I did this because I wanted to end this with cheers of my family. At the end of the day,
At the end of the day.
no matter what I've been through, no matter where I am in my life. No, both of you look at me right now. Gabe, you too.
Buddy.
No matter where I'm in my life, I want both of you guys to know that there was a low point in my life, the absolute low point in my life. And I'm not going to say you guys were in totally full control of this, but there was a point where I needed help, and both of you guys were there with your passion of fitness and becoming the best version of yourself, building something for your daughter, building something for your family, building something. And it passed on to me, and I want you to know that you saved me from a fucking horrendous, from being something that I could have fucking regretted for the rest of my life. I want you guys to really fucking know that. The day that I asked Brandon Griffith, and if you ever fucking listen to this, if this ever hits your ears, the day I asked Brandon Griffith, and there was Rob and everyone, I was like, what do I do to become part of you guys? He said, show up to the workout. And I showed up to that workout, and Gabe was there, and Brandon was there, and all the rest of the crew. And Gabe was the one that came up to me, and I was like, what do I have to do to be part of your crew? And he said, you know what? Give me 110%. That's all I asked. It wasn't go to failure, nothing. It's like, give me 110%. I don't give a fuck what you give me. Give me 110% of what you have. And that right there is what changed my life, guys. So I want you to know, it doesn't fucking matter. Fitness is more than just working out. Fitness is something that, it's a lifestyle.
We are sitting here melting right now.
So seriously, when you're on your bike, Gabe, when you're racing, Priscilla, when you're taking care of me, when you're running those fucking sprints, understand that hits someone. And I'm drunk, I'm emotional, but I'm being fucking 110% real. I'm being 110% real. You guys started what you started because you believed in something. And guess what? I believed in that too. So that means that like it's powerful. And I'm not saying because I'm so all high full, but I was a person that was in probably the downest part of my life, and you guys picked me up. And if you can pick me up, we can pick anyone up in this world, because I was at a point where I didn't give a fuck. I came from a drug like induced family. I should be nothing. I should live in a trailer. I should be just an addict. But you guys helped me become who I am. And that's why I stand behind Body Smart for what it is, because we help people. It doesn't matter about the money at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how many followers. I don't give a fuck if 4 people listen to this message. But if one person takes something from this message, that's all that matters. And that's all I care about, because you guys helped one person indefinitely, and that's me. And you guys became my friend. So I want you guys to know that. So when we're doing all this and we're having fucking podcasts, remember where it all started. Really fucking remember. When you're racing your fucking bike, Gabe, remember why you're racing that bike. Remember what allowed you to race that bike.
I have this this image in my head that I've never let go of. You know, Body Spartans. We've done 7 figures. Like I'll be totally point blank honest. Like we've done 7 figures. We've had 7-figure years. We've never taken home 7 figures like to our personal account, but we brought in 7 figures as the company. But I've never been able to like give back to my friends that helped me start this, and I've got this dream that I'm holding on to that someday in the close future that I'll be able to write Brandon and Howard a check
And Grandpa.
for 6 fucking figures and just say, thank you guys for believing in what we do and for being there, for doing everything that you do, to like never being paid for anything, just coming along and believing in the movement and believing in the fact that we will change lives beyond our own. Like we will have this paradigm shift, and that the values that we stand for will be spread to the masses. And then I can reward my friends with these incredible monetary values and say, dude, thank you. Like, take some time off from what you do. You treat your soon-to-be wife and get out of your apartment, Howard, and go buy a house. And you're worth it, man. Like, I have that vision, and I really want to give it to them. And someday, buddy, I will make that happen. I promise. I mean, we're still technically, by all definitive terms, we're out of the startup phase, but we're still a really young company. And we still work out of the house. There's no office. It's us in a house that Priscilla and I rent because we cannot afford to buy a house. That's Body Spartan spends a ton of money on advertising, and our margins are very thin. We have enough to basically survive, and I don't have enough to pay my friends that have put in hours and hours and hours of effort to just support movement. And so at the end of the day, cheers, my brother. Hang on, we got a drink. I just want to say I love you.
We love you.
You don't get to choose your kin,
Nope.
but you do get to choose your family.
Hey.
Quote, Howard Perry.
And for that,
I choose you, brother.
Yes.
And Brandon, I choose you.
Yes. Yes.
and for that,
Maddie.
without being asked, I want to say thank you, Gabe, for the first time, and I'm going to reiterate this, for the first time, Gabriel Allen Tuff was just the most honest on a podcast that I've ever seen him. So thank you. No, like aside, no, like seriously, like thank you, brother. Because
someday, man, someday in the very near future, I promise.
He says someday, and I don't say this very often, but I believe him. And you need to understand, guys, like, this all started because I just want to empower people. And I want to say this all started with...
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I get choked up a little bit. But this all really started with Dwayne and our experience with him when we started this company. We knew that we were going to touch people. We knew that we were going to reach out to people. But when I heard for the first time that we saved someone's life, it meant a lot to me. And I don't care where the fuck Body Spartan ends up. I don't give a fuck if it's the bottom eating scum of the fucking earth. I know that when I was part of it, and when I was there, I was contributing to someone, and someone came to me and told me that we saved their fucking life and that we did something for them. And they are there for their family, their kids. That's what we're about, guys. At the end of the day, you know, it's not about you making your gains. Sure, I want you to make gains more than anything in the world. But more importantly, I want you to make a change in your life. Something that your kids will remember, something your grandkids will remember, something that you're proud to share. That's what Body Spartan's really about. And we have our struggles way more than a lot of people will ever understand. Because startup companies, it doesn't matter if it's startup, it doesn't matter. Just
we were never funded.
Times are fucking tough.
Let's be point blank honest.
We can be honest to a point. We're not going to share everything.
We
but
were never funded. Man.
We were never funded.
We are literally living.
I want to let all you guys know that Gabe paid me with his own money. As in, when I filed taxes, Gabe was the creditor of my money. We paid with our own money what we did. And I would tell him on an endless basis, don't worry about that, dude. Don't worry about charging me whatever, because I care about it. It was people that came to us and told us we saved their fucking life. That's what meant the most to me. I didn't care. Like, Gabe could tell me, hey, guess what? I'm not going to pay you anything. I know my mortgage or bills or my rent were going to say otherwise. But to me personally, as a human being and being acceptance of my life, that was okay. And my belief is, if you can be okay with life, not what your bills have to, you'll always find a way to make money for your bills. But if you can be okay with the life that's been presented to you, then you've succeeded. And Gabe helped me achieve that. And this may be the first time he's ever heard this on this podcast, but I'm very thankful for the Tufts family and what they've done for me. And there may be times where I've said, like, you know what? It seems like they're being selfish. They're doing their things, whatever. But maybe because I didn't understand.
I mean,
but
we did, man. I think, in all honesty, like, we came into some money that we had never had. We did a lot of things. They were kind of selfish, man. I mean, we went to Vegas a lot. We rented a lot of fucking exotic cars, but I tried to spread the wealth as much as I can. There probably, looking back on it, there were better ways that I could have done that.
But Gabe, are you a bad person for doing that? No, you're a person who got to experience a lot of attention right at bat.
I learned a lot of important lessons, and I'm 40 now, and one of the things I fear most is death, because I don't know what's next. And for anybody that's Christian or Muslim or whatever out there, whatever your religion may be, like, when you really think about it, man, like, in all honesty, nobody's come back from the fucking dead. You may say, yeah, we believe that Christ may have come back from the dead, but who fucking knows? Like, were you there? Were you really fucking there? The whole thought of, like, transitioning scares the fuck out of me. And
it scares all of us.
The thought that there may be nothing afterwards scares the fuck out of me. Or the thought that there may be something scares the fuck out of me.
And that's the number one fear for everyone, dude. It doesn't matter what your task is.
I don't know if it's the number one fear, but it's one of my biggest fears, because I honestly don't know. And I never started thinking about that until my brother died, which is, he's the whole reason this company is here. He's the whole reason that I started this, because I missed an opportunity to help him. And I swore I'd never miss another opportunity to help another person. he was addicted to meth. He asked me to fly down. I said no. Basically, fuck you. I'll talk to you when you're sober. And I never talked to him again. And he shot himself in the fucking head. And ever since then, I've thought about death and my death every single day, and the fact that none of us are getting out of this alive. No matter what we think, no matter where technology is. They keep telling us if you live to be 70, you might live to be 1,000 years old. But you know what? As much as I'd love to believe that, like we're all mortal, and I know my mortality is very close at hand. I mean, I'm literally 3 millimeters. If you guys can comprehend what a millimeter is and how totally thin and small that is, I'm 3 millimeters away from dying right now, and it scares the fucking shit out of me. And all I can think of is how thankful I am for people like Howard and Brandon that have just given me so much of their time, and how thankful I am for my wife, no matter what kind of an asshole I've been. And I get stressed out about finances like anybody else, and I get stressed out about the course of where we're going, and
It's okay.
I mean, it's rough, man. And Howie, I love you like a brother. We don't get to choose our kin, but we get to choose our family, and you're definitely family, man. And I'm proud to have you as my brother.
You are so hard on yourself.
I'm really excited for the new season of Game of Thrones.
The new Game of
We're gonna
Thrones,
have
there's a
Game
lot
of Thrones
positive.
night. P, we haven't told you, but over here we're gonna have a Game of Thrones.
We're
night
gonna have
where
a Game of
Howie
Thrones
comes
night,
over.
I'm
We're
all
gonna-
good
we're
with
gonna
that.
plot.
Before we get into that little positive, like, I just want to say thank you, Gabe. Thank you. It really means a lot, because to Gabe's point, and I told him since day one, and I will not take credit for it, you do not get to choose your kin, but you get to choose your family. And Gabe is definitely part of my family. And the tough family is part of my family, and it's a very small niche. I can say I can count my family members on both my hands, and for you guys to be part of that, I'm very thankful. And that's why I've stayed with Body Spartan for as long as I have, and through the differences. And you guys need to understand, there's a lot of tough times in this kind of business. Like, again, we're a dime a dozen. We really fucking are. But what separates us is that I promise you, on my behalf, I can't speak for everyone, but I can say I can strongly speak for them. But I will always give you the real, no matter what it is, whether it's something you want to hear, something you don't want to hear. It's going to be something positive and something in the right direction. It might not be the exact thing you need to hear at that moment, but at some point in your life will play a key factor in some solution.
Hey, do you remember like the first time you got on camera?
The first time I got
How scared you were and how timid you were.
guys, can I express this
Do
enough?
you remember that, bro?
I can remember exactly. I can remember it to this fucking day. How many times when Gabe or Sean asked me to, like, hey, can you do a video for something, and how I get hesitant and all that. And at first it was like, oh my God, I'm gonna do something in front of a lot of people, 1,000 people. But what it really,
You said, you're like, Priscilla, watch this. There's something about that guy.
it could be millions, but
remember
what you
saying
need
that.
to understand, guys, is like, it doesn't matter if it's 100 people, one person, or 1,000,000 people. I got nervous because someone other than my immediate friends were going to see me for who I really am. And Body Spartan, Gabriel, Alan,
We're
tough, and
cheering.
Priscilla,
The
fucking
heavens
tough.
are cheering.
They encouraged me, like, Howard, we'll just do it. They may have had their experience, but they said, you know what? The hardest part is just to start it and be yourself. The hardest part is being yourself. I'm like, the hardest part is being yourself? Like, how is that the hardest part? You're being you. But really, guys, the hardest part is honestly being yourself on camera, being yourself on the microphone.
And if you take that and you guys can be real with yourself, and you can look in the mirror when you get up in the morning, and you can accept who you are, and you can accept the things that you want in life, and you realize that we get one life. We get one go round. I'm 40 fucking years old. I never thought I would be 40. Howie, you're 28.
I'm 28. I'm coming up on 30 really
You're
quick.
38. We never...
36.
You're 21, actually. Mia thinks you're 21.
Mia thinks I'm 21.
The point
literally
is that we
33.
get one go round. We get one opportunity to make this life whatever it is that we want it to be. And reincarnation discounted, afterlife discounted, for whatever you guys believe in, we get one chance at this thing called life. Gary Vee said it many times, 1 trillion to 1 chance of being born a human being. The odds are pretty slim. So I'm begging you, please make the best of this fucking life that you have. Every day that you wait, every minute you wait, every second you wait, and you do not do the things that your heart desires, you are wasting your life.
And when you do those things and you fail, stand back up and try again. And I cannot express enough, guys. And please listen to me when I say this, that I had tried a lot of times. And when I say a lot, because I couldn't put a number on it, but I tried a lot of times before I met the people who changed my life. I was finding some reason I had to live, and we made I exaggerated the fuck out of it. It didn't mean, no, whether live, I needed something worth living. It didn't fucking matter. And when I came across some people that were willing to accept me and said, you know what? You just go until you can't go anymore and we'll accept you. I'm like, well, that was easy. That's a no-brainer. But at the time I thought like, okay, you're just asking me to go till I throw up. But what I now know is they asked me to push my potential and push me outside the level that I thought was my comfort zone. Push me outside of that. Show me that I'm worth more than that little whatever potential that I thought I was before. And because of that, I am able to get on this mic and talk to you guys and show and express that you guys can do the same thing. And take me for the perfect example. I'm not the perfect specimen. I grew up white trash. I grew up with meth. I grew up with drugs. I grew up with alcohol. I grew up with people dying in front of me. And I was following that same path until I found someone that just said the right words that steered me in the right direction. And those words happened to come from the people who started Body Spartan. And I'm not saying that we are the ones, the saviors, the ones that are going to save you from all your problems. But all I'm saying is that it took 1 or 2 or 3 words from one person to change our lives. And that could have been completely random for me, but we're offering that to you. Is that we understand that there's people out there. And now I know there's people out there that were like me. That had no one. That raised in a family that had nothing. And you still have a chance of becoming something great, something memorable, something that you can make your children proud of. And whether it starts with us or some other fucking company, it doesn't matter. All we know is that we're willing to offer everything we have in our experiences. And I personally will answer any question you may have. But we are hoping that we can help you get to where you want to be. We're not promising anything. Because at the end of the day,
No, it didn't.
Oh, shit.
drink to
I
that.
have ice. I have
At
ice.
the end of the day,
I can't feel my lips.
at the end of the day, it falls on you and your determination. And all we can do is offer you the tools, but you have to use the tools.
I know Howard's serious too, so if you have a question for Howard on Instagram, it's at beard.strength for obvious reasons. Beard.strength. I don't really know how to conclude this podcast. I think this has been probably the longest podcast we've ever done.
So
first of all,
intense.
but it's
So
been one of
intense.
the most real. There's been a lot of alcohol involved, but we all know that when you're a little drunk, your true self comes out. And I'm grateful for Howie. I'm grateful for Brandon. I'm grateful for my wife, Priscilla. I'm grateful for everyone that's listening. And we really, truly hope that your life has been changed. And I want to remind everybody that we have the webinar coming up on April 8th. I'll put the link in the podcast for you guys to listen or to click on to register. It's going to be about an hour. It's going to be me just giving you my heart, me and Anthony Chiklowski.
I may make an experience.
I have a feeling that you might
appearance.
be here,
I might
Howie.
make an appearance.
I have a
But-
feeling you might be here. It's at 5 o'clock PST and 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'd love to have you guys on that webinar. And if you stuck this podcast out and you found this useful, I mean, this is us pouring our hearts out. We're pretty fucking drunk right now, but it's honestly, this is what family's about. This is about changing your life. This is being honest about where we've been, what our current situation is, and what our goals and our aspirations are. Body Spartan started as fitness. And fitness is the bottom of the pyramid. It's because at the time, that's what we were good at. We were really good at helping people unlock their potential in the gym. And as we progressed, Howard, Brandon, Priscilla, and myself, David included, as the newest member of Body Spartan, Christina Williams, Adriana. I mean, we've really looked at how we can help people inside and outside of the gym, and fitness is the starting point. But you can tell by what Howard said, what Priscilla said, what I've said, that we really are here to change your life. We really want you to grow. We want you to have progress. We want you to feel significant. We want you to have certainty. We want you to experience variety. We want you to experience spiritual growth. We want you to experience giving back. We want you to experience all the things that we've experienced, because we honestly, when you look at it, we've got an amazing life, all of us. And we're at that point where we want to give back. We want to give you guys what we have. We want you to experience what we have, and we're not those kind of people where, yes, you know, we've got 16 million views on some of our videos, but we'd love to meet every single one of you. We'd love to sit down at a bar in Vegas and have a drink with you on May, what's that, Howard? May 27th, something like that?
May
The
27th.
Memorial Day weekend,
Memorial
which is
Day
like
weekend in Vegas.
26
We'd
months
love
left.
to meet you guys in Vegas and sit down and have a drink and just say, hey, tell me your story. How are we family? We're all family, guys.
We are.
This is part of the movement. We're here to change the world one person at a time. We'll leave you with that. We love you guys. Without you, Body Spartan would be nothing. Thank you, Howie. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Priscilla. And thank you, everyone that's followed and listened. This is the longest podcast we've ever done. This is the most real podcast we have ever done. We'll see you next time.
Ciao.
At the end of the day,
At the end of the day,
drink, motherfucker!
For more free information on fitness, nutrition, and bodybuilding, visit us at www.bodyspartan.com.
Indestructible, undeniable. I'm a man with a plan, understand.